Hello, good afternoon. It's Sunday. Some different content on the channel, just something a bit different. I thought I'd try. I was going to watch the game anyway. I thought, why not do a watch along, see if anybody wants to join me. So this is the Manchester City women versus Chelsea women live watch along. It's a big game actually at the top of the WSL. Could have a big impact on Arsenal's title chances, of course, after we did drop 2 points yesterday. So this is coming up the other side of this. Good afternoon, my name is Richard. Welcome to my channel over and over again, the Arsenal podcast. This is a different show. It's not featuring Arsenal, it's featuring Chelsea and Manchester City women, of course. Big game this afternoon in the WSL, game that could have an impact on Arsenal's title chances, of course. We need Chelsea to drop some points today, ideally, after we were held to a draw yesterday in the North London derby. That was a really good game of football. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get the win there. I guess that's got to be looked on as a positive. Nigel's in the chat already. How you doing, Nigel? Thanks for tuning in. Hope it's going to be a good game we can enjoy. We've got the team news in for both teams, which is interesting. So these are your lineups for today. So Manchester City, they've got Tiab in goal, of course. They've got so many injuries still. They've got a bit of a makeshift defence. It looks like it's going to be Georgie Stanway, Jill Scott, Alex Greenwood, and Demi Stokes as their back four. In midfield, it looks like they may be playing a four in midfield. Kira Walsh, Philippa, Angel Dahl, Caroline Weir, and Jess Park as well. And then up front, it's going to be Lauren Hemp and Ellen White. So that's the Manchester City team. They've still got some quality despite missing 6 or 7 players from injury. So it's still a strong Man City team. I'm a bit worried about their goalkeeper, I've got to be honest. And maybe their back four, Georgia Stanway, looks like she might be playing as a fullback. She's better off sort of higher up the pitch. For Chelsea, then it's Anne-Catherine Berger, of course, in goal. It looks like they might have a back three, actually. Millie Bright, Magdalena Eriksson, and Jess Carter. Then the pack in the midfield with Guru Wright and Jess Fleming, Ji Song Yu, Leah Poles, and Erin Cuthbert. And then up front, Sam Kerr and Fran Kirby. So it's a pretty strong Chelsea team, of course, as you would expect. They are the defending champions, of course, and also as well, they are currently 4 points behind Arsenal, aren't they, in the table? So we really could do with them dropping a couple of points at least today. And who knows, maybe even Man City get a victory. That would really be good, wouldn't it? So yeah, we'll see exactly how it plays out. Kickoff's in about 5 or 6 minutes time. So I'm looking forward to this game. It's going to be a big game. Can we rely on Manchester City to do us a favour? I mean, that's the question, isn't it? We really do need them to try and help us out after we were held yesterday. Chelsea potentially aren't going to drop too many points, are they? We know how strong they are. So there's not many games that you can look at and think, well, Chelsea might drop points. But this is certainly one. I know they did win here comfortably in the FA Cup semi-final a couple of weeks ago. Things are, games are different, aren't they? Each game's different. So I'm sure that this will be a different test. And let's hope that Chelsea, that Man City, can get the result that would help us out. But Chelsea obviously start favourites, of course, in great form, aren't they? They won 7-0, of course, in midweek in the Champions League. So we know what a great team they are. But having said that, who knows? I say we would have been expected to have beaten Tottenham yesterday, probably, even though they've had a good start to the season. But having said that, you just never know there. So we've got our hopes pinned on Manchester City. My concern is their makeshift defence and their goalkeeper. They've got Georgia Stanway and Jill Scott, 2 midfield players playing in defence. And while Jill Scott's done well in defence recently, it's not a natural position, is it? So I'm a little bit worried about that. And their goalkeeper, of course, the French goalkeeper Taïb has been pretty poor. It was 2 mistakes that gifted Chelsea 2 goals, wasn't it, in that FA Cup semi-final? So I'm a little bit concerned about her today. And we know how strong Chelsea are going forward with Kerr and Kirby in particular, Erin Cuthbert as well. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. I'm expecting some goals. Let's just hope that Man City can get a few more than Chelsea. That would be really good, wouldn't it, if they can win? Nigel says, dropping our first points of the season against Spurs is so deflating. I mean, it was, but it was euphoric as well to score that last-minute goal, wasn't it? That was exciting, and you know. But having said that, it was 2 points dropped because we should have won that game, shouldn't we? We had lots and lots of chances. The Tottenham goalkeeper played particularly well, and we really should have had that game sewn up. But you know, it's been a problem recent games, hasn't it? We're not taking our chances early in games, and although later on usually we're getting the goals and winning fairly comfortably, that's not always going to happen. We saw that yesterday. We didn't take our chances, and then we conceded a really, really poor goal. You have to say it was a poor goal to concede, but fair play to the girls. You know, they battled back and got the equaliser right at the end, and you know, even then we had a chance to win it, didn't we, right at the very end? So it was one of them difficult ones to take. It was mixed emotions, really, because we should have won, but ultimately we could have lost. It could have been 2-0, couldn't it, when she missed that open goal, you know, when it was 1-0. So, you know, we maybe got away with one there a little bit. A point's a point, and it could prove to be a crucial point. We'll see today. If Chelsea lose, then it will be a really good point, won't it? Ryan's in the chat for the Mr. Arsenal podcast. He says, afternoon, mate, still too many injuries for City, sadly. No, exactly. We need City to turn up and get a result. Yeah, we do. And they have got a lot of injuries still. And I say their defence worries me. I mean, we put 5 past them, didn't we, a while ago? They seem to have improved slightly since then. And they've got 1 or 2 of the injured players back since we played them. But Chelsea did win here 3-0, as I say, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, wasn't it, in the FA Cup? So it's going to be a big turnaround needed from Man City today. Although they did play well, didn't they, in the early part of that game? And then them 2 quick goals, 2 mistakes by the goalkeeper. And that's a worry for me. That goalkeeper it doesn't fill you with confidence, let's be honest. Looking at some of the games recently that I've seen Man City play, that's definitely been their weakness. And, you know, the fact they've got their 4th choice goalkeeper on the bench just goes to show how many injuries that they've got. You know, their first 2 goalkeepers are out, which is unusual, isn't it? So, you know, the French goalkeeper, Ty, wouldn't have been expected to play really much this season. So, it's been a difficult one for them, but you know, ultimately they've got to get on with it, and let's hope that they can keep Chelsea out. But it's going to be hard, isn't it? Chelsea have got so much attacking talent in this team, and although Man City have got injuries, and we've mentioned that a lot before, they've still got a good side, haven't they? They've got some good players, really good players, and they should be good enough to at least give Chelsea a game. And you know, a draw, I'm more than happy with a draw. I'll take a draw right now, to be honest. But anyway, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting game, I'm sure. And as long as Chelsea don't go 2 or 3-0 up early on, that's a worry then, isn't it? Because you do worry that Man City won't be able to come back. I think Man City need to score first to give them a chance and to give us a chance as a result that we so desperately want. Ryan said there, to be honest, the ref had a stinker yesterday, blew up for a foul, didn't play the advantage, which meant Nobb's goal was ruled out. Yeah, I mean, the whistle did go quite early on before the shot, and the goalkeeper was already, you know, knew the game had stopped. Would she have scored if the play had gone on? We don't know. It did. She should have played on. There's no doubt about that because we had the ball. But I don't think Jordan Nobbs' shot. All the Tottenham players had stopped playing because they heard the whistle. So I don't think it necessarily would have stopped the goal. We should have. The attack should have been allowed to continue and see where it went. But unfortunately, the referee did have a bit of a stinker. It has to be said. But that's not the reason why we didn't win that game. We didn't win that game because we conceded a really soft goal, and we looked tired in the second half. And maybe the season's caught out of us a little bit. Maybe the trip to Denmark caught out of us a little bit, and maybe that was more the reason why we dropped points as opposed to the referee who was poor. Let's be honest. Nigel says there, Ian Wright and Emma Hayes participated in a joint panel discussing all things football during the week. She has great reverence for her Arsenal roots and Vic Akers. No, I mean, she does, and you've got to respect what she's done. I just don't particularly like her personally, but anyway, that's just me. We are about to kick off, actually. Chelsea in the all dark blue kit will be attacking the goal to our left in the first half here at the Academy Stadium in Manchester. Man City, of course, in the all light blue home kit, as you'd expect them to be. We've just had the remembrance kind of thing, the last post and all that, which has been going on for about 3 weeks now. Which seems crazy, really. I remember it just used to be on the one weekend of the remembrance rather than, you know, going on forever. But anyway, it's out of the way, it's all done, and we are just about to kick off in this big WSL game today between 2 teams who, for the last 3 or 4 years, they've been sort of first and second, haven't they? They've been in there or thereabouts. Man City, I think, have finished second. Is it four seasons in a row? So obviously we won the league in between all that as well, didn't we, at one time? So, but yeah, I mean, it's a big game, this, actually, and we could really do with Man City turning up for us, and not like they did, of course, a couple of weeks ago in that semi-final, which was really annoying. But anyway, It's made it for a good final, hasn't it? Arsenal-Chelsea, let's be honest, but we definitely need City to play better today and hopefully get a result of some sort. I mean, I'll snap your hand off for a draw right now, and of course a win would be fantastic. And would if Man City can win this game, then that last minute goal yesterday is going to prove so important. I'm just having a bit of trouble with my stream at the moment. It's gone down as it tends to do sometimes. I do apologise. I'm sure we'll be back very, very shortly. It's annoying, really, but I refuse to pay for Sky because they're a bunch of crooks that I want nothing to do with. So I do apologise for that. Ryan said it's 1-0 already, a howler from the goalkeeper. Why does that not surprise me? Because that goalkeeper is absolutely useless. I did say that before the game. That was always my worry with that goalkeeper. But anyway, what can you say? We needed Chelsea to score first. We needed Man City to score first, didn't we? That was the way we were going to hopefully get something out of this game. It's going to be difficult now, isn't it? I will try and get a stream back up very shortly. Do we know who scored? Because I'll update the score for you, because there has been a goal already, disappointingly. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay. Just trying to refresh this feed. It keeps going stupid on me. We had this problem last week as well for about 5 minutes, and then it was fine. So I'm sure it'll be okay again. It's my own fault. I should pay for Sky, but when I get to 1,000 subscribers and I can afford to pay out some more money, then I will. So if you want me to get Sky and we can do this properly, then please subscribe to the channel, and then I can get some money coming in to pay for things like this. But at the moment, I refuse. So we've got a few issues, but so we had a few issues with this before, didn't we, last week? But it's not a problem. I will. I'll do what I did before and get the commentary up on the FA player, and then I can go through what's happening before we go back to the live action very, very shortly. Actually, the BBC don't help, do they? BBC have got, this is annoying, isn't it? Right? BBC are showing the WSL this season, right? And you go on their website and they don't even bother to put any details up about the game that's on. Absolute bunch of idiots. So anyway, never mind. Don't worry about them. But yeah, it just seems crazy. It's almost like, because this game's on Sky, they're not interested in even giving us any information on it on BBC, which is crazy when they've paid out to get coverage of the WSL this season, and they can't even be bothered to update their website with details of the game. It's almost like it doesn't count, or they're not bothered, which is crazy. Right, we're back in business now. We have got some coverage for you. I didn't see the goal. I don't know who scored it. But anyway, Nigel says the Chelsea are ominous. I think we'll be under more pressure trying to become champions than them trying to retain it. Possibly, yeah. I mean, it doesn't help when Man City have got a goalkeeper as useless as this one. But anyway, Man City are now coming forward. God, this is Lauren Hemp with a great run. She's going to be the danger here into the penalty area. Really good run that was down that far side, the left for Manchester City from Lauren Hemp. I think she is going to be the player that may be able to unlock this Chelsea defence. They don't concede that many goals, do they? And the fact that Chelsea have scored already is a little bit annoying. But anyway, they have got a free kick now, Manchester City. That was a great run from Lauren Hemp. She is a great player, actually. One of the most exciting players in the WSL. And she was just fouled as well there. And it is a free kick to Manchester City over on that far side. We've played 4.5 minutes. Chelsea have got that very, very early goal, which unfortunately I missed. But anyway, the goalkeeper missed it as well by all accounts. But this is a free kick, a dangerous position over on that far side for Manchester City. Can they get an early equaliser? Ball played into the penalty area. It's not really headed away very far. Oh, Chelsea's flicked into the area again by City, but Chelsea again scramble the ball clear. But Manchester City pick it up here with Park on this near side. Just Park, of course, she came on in the FA Cup game in the second half and had a big impact, actually. I thought she played really well then. And she's got herself a start today. That's a good ball over the top. It's going to run all the way through to goalkeeper Berger, who's looking for Ellen White. as Manchester City have responded quite well to go behind. Actually, I was a bit worried when Chelsea scored so early that they'd go on and win this game, maybe 5 or 6-0. But actually, Man City have responded well. Chelsea, of course, did score 6, didn't they, up the road at Manchester United a few weeks ago in the WSL. That was an impressive performance from Chelsea. But Man City are coming forward again. I say they've certainly responded well to going behind, and hopefully they can get a draw or get an equaliser, and at least give us something to be excited about, because at the moment it's not the scoreline that we were hoping for so early in this game. It was just the first minute of the game that Chelsea scored. Of course, we had a big chance yesterday, didn't we, in the first minute with Beth Mead, which we didn't take, and in the end that maybe would have changed that game and we'd have won. And obviously Chelsea have taken their chance in this game very early on, and it makes a massive difference, doesn't it? But I say City have responded well. They are in possession again. The ball has gone back to goalkeeper Taib, who, quite honestly, how she became a goalkeeper in the WSL is a mystery. Every time I've seen her play, she's been dreadful, and she's almost made another mistake there. In fact, she's given the ball away again to Brighton, but Manchester City do win it back. The referee almost got in the way there, but Man City, in fact, the referee did get in the way and has doesn't stop that play. It was a Man City counter-attack, actually, through Kira Walsh, and the ball did strike the referee, and Man City have picked up possession again, but it's allowed Chelsea to get their shape back, which was a little bit annoying because it could have been a good counter-attack there from Chelsea. Now they're coming forward down this near side with Park. Well, she tried to find Kira. She's won the ball back. Park, good play from the youngster. She's got a big future ahead of her, I'm sure. Jess Park, really impressive player she is. So she may well be, playing for the England Lionesses very soon, I'm sure. Could even get a place in the squad for the Euros next year, of course. But it's Man City's throwing on this near side, which they've taken quickly, but the ball's gone back to Jill Scott, playing as a makeshift centre-half again today. She played quite well in the FA Cup game against Chelsea in that position, but it's not really her natural position, as we know. The same with Georgia Stanway as well. In fact, it looks like Man City might be playing a 3 at the back as well, with Scott, Greenway and Stokes, with Stanway pushing on and Park as well. But anyway, they are coming forward in midfield now with Lauren Hemp. That's a good ball to this near side. Man City, I say, actually looking quite dangerous in this attack. There was a good ball played across towards the far side, but Millie Bright was there, the Chelsea defender, and cut out that attack. We know how strong Chelsea are defensively. But Man City do have some quality in the forward play, don't they? In the forward areas, Lauren Hemp with Ellen White, I say Jess Park. So it's good stuff, this. Oh, Man City have come forward now. It's clean through. It's a one-on-one with the Chelsea goalkeeper. Is it going to be 1-1? Oh, it's a good save from Berger, that actually. Man City almost getting an equaliser after just 8 minutes. That's a really good save, actually. It was a big chance that was for Manchester City. It was Angel Dahl, I think it was, with the opportunity. Clean through, one-on-one with a goalkeeper. That was a good play from Man City. Opened up that Chelsea defence. It was one-on-one, but couldn't take the opportunity. In fact, I think it might have been Caroline Weir, actually. But anyway, Demi Stokes now coming forward for Manchester City again down that far side. Can City get the equaliser? They've certainly been on top now these last 5 minutes. The ball played into the box, but that's overhit. And it's gone out for a goal kick to Chelsea. But that was a massive opportunity there for the equaliser. Lovely play that was from Chelsea in the middle of the park. A lovely ball, split the two centre-halves. A good run through the centre it was. One-on-one, but a good save with her legs from Berger. We know how good she is in those positions. Wasn't a great finish, though. Maybe lacks a little bit of belief there. But it was a great opportunity for City. It really, really was. But she couldn't take it. And are they going to get too many more like that? It's been a very open start to this game now. We've only played 9.5 minutes, and already it could be 1-1. But it's Chelsea with the lead. That very early goal, but that was a big chance there, as Ryan says there. Huge chance. Obviously, it should have been a goal, shouldn't it? Maybe they're the ones, aren't they? When you cling for on goal, you've got so much time that they're the hardest ones to take, and maybe that's what happened. She seemed to lack a little bit of belief, maybe a little bit of composure as well. A great run from midfield, a third man run there through the two centre halves, but just lacked that composure at the end, which was such a shame. But anyway. Ryan says if City loses, I reckon Gareth will lose his job. I don't know. I still think because of the injuries, you have to say that he's got a ready-made excuse, hasn't he? And they have got a lot of injuries. We can't deny that. But they've still got a decent team, and they shouldn't be losing the games that they have. They shouldn't be where they are in the league, despite that. But anyway, that was good defending there, actually, from Lauren Hemp. Wins a goal kick for Manchester City. She's been their best player this season, Lauren Hemp, by an absolute mile. She's been playing well for the Lionesses as well, of course. But that was a big chance just before for City to equalise, and you have to wonder how many more like that they're going to get. But Man City have taken that goal kick quickly, trying to play it out from the back. They did this in the FA Cup and got caught out a few times. You know Chelsea are going to press high up the pitch, and it's a risky thing to do. Man United did it as well against Chelsea and got caught out, conceded 6 in that game. But Man City again are coming forward. Demi Stokes over on that far side. Can City get the equaliser, which would make a massive difference to the top of the table? Caroline Weir there played the ball looking for the run of Lauren Hemp, but she didn't make that run, and it has gone out for a goal kick. But it was Weir with that opportunity there just before. She really should have taken that, and it would have put a totally different complexion on this game. But the fact that they've created the opportunity, there will be more chances for City, I'm sure, as the game goes on. They will create some chances. Can they beat this Chelsea goalkeeper? As of course we know how good she is, the German Berger for Chelsea. The Chelsea have been struggling since the goal. They've really struggled to really get any rhythm going in this game, and that's credit to City. Actually, they've played well. They may be unfortunate to be behind, but I say they have got a very, very shaky goalkeeper. Chelsea now keeping a bit of possession down this near side. Erin Cuthbert there plays the ball up the line for Fran Kirby. Plays it across to the far side, but Demi Stokes should just see this out for a goal kick. And she doesn't actually. It's kept in. And Stokes brings the ball forward for City, who tried to launch a counter-attack down that far side. And the ball still hasn't gone out of play. He had a few opportunities to go out of play, but it didn't. Caroline Weir then plays the ball in field. Now Jill Scott with that long stride, bringing the ball forward for City. She finds Georgia Stanway down this near side. She's held up briefly there. Plays the ball back to Scott. Scott again. And she goes back to goalkeeper Taib, who seems maybe a little bit more comfortable with the ball at her feet than when shots are coming at her. But anyway, they're playing it out from the back, City. And a bit of a risky pass, but they do manage to get out of it, but not for very long. It's ball only come through to Millie Bright now for Chelsea. They're coming forward looking for a second goal, which would surely end this as a contest. But now a counter-attack from City. Can they get this equaliser? This is good play in the middle of the park there. Really good play from Jess Park. She finds Georgia Stanway and plays it back to Jill Scott. All the momentum's gone out of that attack now for City. That's a long ball from Greenwood, looking for Lauren Hemp over on that far side, but she's not going to get there. And it'll be a throw to Chelsea. So 13 and a half minutes played. Manchester City 0, Chelsea 1. A very early goal from Chelsea has given them a huge advantage in this game. Of course, last week they were away at Aston Villa. They scored early and ended up winning that game 1-0. So they don't concede many goals, do they, Chelsea? So that big chance just a few moments ago could prove to be crucial. But there's still a long way to go in this game, of course. And you never know. Man City they have responded well to going behind. But they do look shaky every time Chelsea come forward. Jill Scott there tidying up, plays the ball back to goalkeeper Taib. And then she plays it to Georgia Stanway, who's playing as a fullback, or maybe even a wing back almost. Greenway now. Alex Greenway plays it back to Taib again. City just slowing it down a little bit now. It was a frantic opening 10 minutes or so. A goal for Chelsea and a big chance for City, but it's settled down a little bit now, the game. And the ball's back with Taib. She plays it square to Greenwood. Plays it in to midfield to Demi Stokes. She switches it to this near side to Stanway. This is good play. Park now plays it back to Stanway. Plays it into midfield. That's a good turn from Ellen White, I think it is. She's got a good play the ball out to the far side to Hemp. This is another chance for Manchester City. A cross comes in towards the 6-yard box. Comes to the far post to Park. It just bounces off her. A good touch there. She could have had a chance for a shot at goal. but it just the touch wasn't quite there, and Chelsea have managed to scramble the ball away. But another chance there for Manchester City to get this equaliser. They're playing well at the minute, Man City, actually, but they did this in the FA Cup, didn't they? They had a good start with a better team for 20 minutes. Then they conceded 2 goals, and that was that. They have conceded 1 in this game, but I say they have been a better team since then, and they've had a couple of opportunities now to get a goal. G now wins the ball back for Chelsea and then wins a throw on this near side for the visitors, the reigning champions. But that was a chance there for Jess Park. It was Lauren Hemp over on that far side, whipped a dangerous cross in, beat everybody, but better touch there from Park, and she could have had a shot at goal. Another good delivery that was from Hemp from that left-hand side. It beat everybody, and then it fell out the far post to Jess Park, but it just bounced off her thigh, and Eriksson was able to get the ball clear. If she could have just got that under control, she could have had an opportunity to get a shot away, but unfortunately, it didn't quite happen. And again, Chelsea survive another decent Man City attack. But you do feel as though they do need a goal. The longer Chelsea are in front, the harder it's going to get for City. And Chelsea are now enjoying a little bit more possession. Just knocking the ball around comfortably at the back. Millie Bright plays it square to Carter into midfield, and then Carter gets it back. They are playing this free at the back. Chelsea, Millie Bright now plays a long ball looking for Fran Kirby, but Man City do get it clear, but not for very long. G wins that there. Looked like it could have been a foul, but the referee says no. G again plays the ball out to this near side to Wrighton. Wrighton goes past Georgia Stanway, gets to the byline, she pulls it back into the penalty area. But Chelsea do scramble it away, but not for very long. Shot from the edge of the box, it's blocked by a Man City defender, and they do scramble the ball away, but Chelsea still in possession here. Man City just can't quite get the ball away at the moment, but it's still Chelsea in possession with Carter. She plays the ball square to Millie Bright, just inside the Chelsea half. She's not under any pressure from Man City. Carter gets it back. She's got Ellen White in front of her, but she just plays it square to Millie Bright. And it's played up to that far touchline there. It's into G in midfield. She doesn't get past Lauren Hempno, picks the ball up for Man City again. Every time she gets the ball, there's a sense of anticipation around the stadium. You can tell something's going to happen. Caroline Weir then plays the ball back, and it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Taib. You do worry every time Man City, every time Chelsea come forward, they look dangerous. You can see them scoring another goal. But Man City have had 1 or 2 bright moments themselves, and they certainly have been in this game. It's a shame that early goal. But Man City have played well, and they have created 1 or 2 opportunities. Let's hope they can get this goal. Now it's Greenwood coming forward for City. That's a good ball into midfield. This is good play from Man City again. Referee allows the play to go on. It might have been a foul for City, but instead the play goes on. Now it's Park on this near side. Jess Park, she had a big opportunity just a moment ago, didn't she, to have got an equaliser. The ball just bounced off her thigh. She couldn't get the shot away. Alex Greenwood now plays a long ball from defence again, looking for Park. She was looking to get in behind the Chelsea defence, but the referee has given a free kick there against Park. And it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. It was a foul there on Wrighton by Jess Park. And it's going to be a free kick. Oh, it's easy. Has it gone the other way? Not quite sure, actually, what's happened here. We'll find out very shortly. It is definitely a free kick, but the camera's just on the referee. It was a Chelsea free kick. The ball's now back with goalkeeper Berger, and she plays it out to the far side to Millie Bright, and then Berger gets it back again. That was a bit of a strange pass back to actually, and in the end she's had to go long, and I think it's gone out for a throw to Manchester City. Good pressing that was from Ellen White on the Chelsea goalkeeper there. It wasn't a great pass back to her from Millie Bright, if we're honest, and caused her a few problems there, and she had to go long under pressure, and it's gone out for a throw to City over on the far side, which Demi Stokes is going to take. She plays it short to Caroline Weir, but that was poor actually. It's gone straight out for a throw to Chelsea. That was not very good play at all for Manchester City there. Wasted opportunity. And now it's going to be a Chelsea throw. 20 minutes played, nearly halfway through this first half. You got to say on the balance of play, Man City have probably been the better side, but Chelsea have the goal, and that is so crucial against a team like Chelsea. When they get in front, they're very difficult, aren't they, to come back against. But Man City, as I say, they've had a couple of moments where they could have got themselves level. So there's still hope that they can get something out of this game. There's still hope for us. But the ball there has gone all the way back to Berger in goal for Chelsea. Ellen White is trying to split them, but she hasn't managed to do that, and Chelsea can play it out from the back again. But again, the ball's gone out of play for a throw on that far side. There's been a couple of misplaced passes from both teams actually in the last couple of minutes or so. Man City have got a throw over on the far side there. Demi Stokes is going to take it for City, England left back. Good play there in the midfield again from Caroline Weir. Plays the ball over the top, looking for the run of Ellen White, but the ball is going to be running through to Berger again. And Chelsea survived that. Slightly little scared. There's a good looking ball there from Caroline Weir, actually looking for the run of Ellen White in behind. It was just slightly overhit though, and it did run through to the Chelsea goalkeeper. Millie Brighton now coming forward down that far side. But again, Man City won the ball back. Demi Stokes that time did really well. Nigel in the chat there says, is there a case for the Premier League to buy out the WSL? I think the Prem branding could do a lot to elevate the women's game. Possibly, but obviously the Sky deal for this season is probably going to sort that out anyway, isn't it? It was Sky getting involved with the Premier League that's made the Premier League what it is. And I think Sky's involvement in the WSL, for all its faults in terms of strange kickoff times and one thing and another, is ultimately going to take the WSL forward, isn't it? And I think it's doing that already. And it's giving it to a bigger audience as well, which I think is important, isn't it? If the game's going to grow, we need more people to watch it, and we need more people to get behind it, sponsorships and everything else. And I do think it's heading in the right direction. I think the last 2 or 3 years have been really positive for women's football, and I think it's going to get even better with this new TV deal, which has been great that the game's got more coverage. The BBC have had games on live. Obviously, our game yesterday, we're on live again next weekend, and obviously Sky as well. So I think it's good, and I think as a result of it, it's not going to happen overnight, is it? But it's starting to grow, and I think the crowds in the stadiums are starting to improve as well. And yeah, I think it's going to be good overall. It's going to be really good overall for the women's game. It's just it might take a little bit of time, mightn't it, to really come to fruition, because it did win a Premier League, didn't it? If you remember at the very start of the Premier League, there were a lot of half-empty stadiums, wasn't there? And people wasn't really getting behind it as much. And then, over the course of a few years, the investment started to pay off, didn't it? We started getting the best players from around the world playing in the Premier League, and it's grown from there. And I think that the WSL is it's probably starting in almost a better place, because there was a lot of problems in English football, wasn't there, before the start of the Premier League, with hooliganism and, the Hillsborough disaster in '89, all kinds of stuff like that at the stadiums. And I do feel as though now the women's game's starting from maybe a better place. And yes, it hasn't got the crowds, of course, aren't anywhere near the size and stuff like that. But I think that will come. I really do. And yeah, it's probably never going to attract, regularly full stadiums like in the Premier League, is it? It probably never will. And I don't think we should expect it to. But all we just hope is that it gets the exposure that it deserves. It gets a bigger audience, both a TV audience around the world, and also more people will be attracted to go to games. And I do think that is happening. But it's going to take time, isn't it? It's not going to happen overnight. And it's heading in the right direction, and it's good to see. And it is nice to have that, isn't it? And yeah, maybe eventually perhaps the Premier League and the WSL will combine, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I think the fact that Sky are involved in both now, we could well see some sort of collaboration maybe later on down the line. I'm not sure, but as long as the women's game doesn't become, what I don't want it to be is, I don't want it to be just the second in line behind the Premier League. It should have an equal footing, really, because it's just as good, in fact, if not better, to watch. I think I've been finding that the men's game quite dull to watch, actually, over the last few years. It's very choreographed, isn't it? The tactics and stuff. I think the women's game is a little bit more natural. You don't get all the histrionics and rolling around and stuff like that. And it's better to watch for me. But anyway, it will never have the same appeal as the Premier League, will it? I don't suppose. But anyway, Chelsea have currently got a goal kick, 25 minutes played. It is still Manchester City 0, Chelsea 1. That a very, very early goal from Jess Fleming for Chelsea, which was gifted to her by the Manchester City goalkeeper Taib. It's the third goal that the referee has now blown a whistle because the Chelsea goalkeeper actually is feeling her hamstring. Now, this could be an interesting moment. She looks like she's got a hamstring injury. The Chelsea goalkeeper, Berger, let's bear in mind the cup final's only 3 weeks away. And she's having to get some treatment now, the German. This could be a big moment, not only in this game, but maybe for future games as well. If that's a hamstring injury, which indeed it looks like, that could be it could be bad news for her and bad news for Chelsea, but ultimately it could be good news for Arsenal. It's when she took that goal kick there, actually. She took the goal kick and then she must have felt it go after that. So this could be a big moment in this game, actually, because she's already made one good save to deny Man City an equaliser. And we know what a great goalkeeper she is. And she's now getting treatment just on the edge of the 6-yard box. And the second choice goalkeeper, Muzovic, is warming up as we speak. And it's possible that she may have to come on because it looks like a very tight hamstring for Berger. But she's getting some treatment now and maybe she'll be able to continue, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, we wish her well, but I certainly wouldn't be too upset if she couldn't play in the cup final in a couple of weeks' time after the performance that she gave in the Continental Cup final last time Arsenal and Chelsea played, of course, in a final. But it looks like she's going to be okay. She's putting her gloves back on, and let's see if she's okay to continue for now. But maybe Man City should start putting on a bit more pressure now then. I don't know if she's going to be, balls over the top. Is she going to be able to come out of her goal as quick? Is that going to be an issue that maybe Man City need to look at? She's still not moving completely freely, and I'm not sure whether she'll take too many more goal kicks. But we'll see. She's back on her feet again. We are going to continue. It's going to be a throw to Man City over on the far side. And for the time being, Berger is staying on. But we'll have to see how long she might last. And I say this is maybe a cue for Manchester City to start putting some balls over the top, force her to come out of her goal and move around. And here come Man City trying to just do that now. Georgia Stanway bursting forward over the halfway line on his near side. For City plays the ball up the line to Jess Park. She tries to get around right, and then she has won the throw for Man City now in an advanced position on this near side. Georgia Stanway is coming up to take this throw for City, looking for this equaliser, which would be a big moment not only for them, but also for Arsenal at the top of the WSL. We are 4 points clear, of course, at the moment. So we'll see. Ball played in forward again. But again, the final ball from City's not quite right. Man City's defence there, Ericsson it was that time, did well to cut that out. It's Alex Greenwood now for Manchester City. She's got the ball back again. Chelsea are so difficult to break down, aren't they? City trying to play it out from the back and they're forced back again. Greenwood finds the goalkeeper, Taib. And she finds Greenwood. And again, City just knocking it around in the edge of their penalty area. It's gone back to Taib again. Now they're trying to come forward. Greenwood now down that far side, plays it in to midfield to Kira Walsh. This is better for Manchester City now. They're coming forward with Stanway looking out for Lauren Hemp over on that far side, but the ball's cut out. It does only fall to Caroline Weir, who does well, really well. She's got Lauren Hemp outside her. Tries to play the ball through. Lauren Hemp inside the penalty area, but it's going to be a corner to Manchester City. It was Erin Cuthbert actually who came back to do her defensive duties there. We're coming up towards half an hour played. Manchester City have a corner. They're still trailing 1-0. Good play again from Manchester City, and Cuthbert came back to do her defensive job there for the team. She cut that ball out. It was looking for Lauren Hemp. She just got a toe on it first of all, and then shuffled it behind for the corner over on this far side. chance for Manchester City to put the Chelsea defence under pressure. See how mobile the goalkeeper is. That corner comes into the edge of the 6-yard box. Header comes in. It's straight at the goalkeeper. I think it was Alex Greenwood with the header. It was too close to the goalkeeper. Made a comfortable save. If it had gone either side of it, could have caused a problem. Actually, we don't know. So we don't know quite how good her movement is at the moment. Good header actually from Greenwood. She attacked that corner, but it was straight at Berger. And it remains 1-0 to Chelsea. And we've got a comment in the chat there from Harvey. He says, Cardiff or Swansea. I don't know whether my shirt in the background might give away. I don't care about either of them, if I'm totally honest. But if I had to pick, who would I pick, Cardiff or Swansea? That's an interesting question, isn't it? I'll have to get back to you on that one. Probably Cardiff because of Aaron Ramsey. I'll go with them because the Aaron Ramsey connection. There you go. But yeah, I'm not a fan of either, if I'm totally honest. But anyway, I probably enjoyed Cardiff being in the Premier League more than Swansea. So yeah, we'll go with Cardiff. Plus the FA Cup finals are played there. So there you go. But Man City now coming forward in the midfield with Ellen White. She does well, actually holds the ball up. But again, Chelsea forced City back. And Stanway now coming forward. She's playing well, actually, Stanway, but she's having to play a lot deeper, which isn't really helping. But now, Caroline Weir, she's got Lauren Hemp outside her again. Again, she finds Lauren Hemp. What's the cross like? Lauren Hemp inside the penalty area. Goes one way, then the other. Drills a shot into the near post, but it's a good save from Berger. Another chance for Manchester City, though. They certainly haven't lied down in this game. They give it a good go. And they have been the much better team in this first half, but they do still trail 1-0. But that was better there. Again, it's Hemp on that far side. She turned one way then the other, and maybe a ball across the 6-yard box may have been a better option there, actually. Instead, she went for goal at the near post, and Berger holds on. That's 2 shots she's had in the last couple of minutes since she had some treatment for that hamstring injury, but they've both been really close to us. So she hasn't really been tested that yet. But anyway, we'll see what happens in the remainder of this game. The ball's currently with the Manchester City goalkeeper, Taib, of course, their third choice goalkeeper, and she's got a strapping on her knee, so maybe she's not totally fit either. But they need somebody to play in goal. They're coming forward again now. This is Jess Park. Again, Man City coming forward with purpose. Ball to the near side. It's gone out again off Eriksson. It's going to be another corner. It was Anglo Darder with the cross. It was the Chelsea captain, Eriksson, who put that ball behind for a corner, this time on the near side to City. They've certainly putting this pressure on now. Can they get this equaliser before half-time? It was a good play again from Jess Park, but it's a corner this time from the near side to City. Alex Green was going to take this corner. Let's see if we can. The last one almost produced a goal. This one in towards the near post, and it was flicked wide by Georgia Stanway. She couldn't direct it on target. The corner was in at the near post. I don't know whether it was not quite hit on target there. She tried to dive in ahead of there. Did Georgia Stanway? It went just past the post. She couldn't direct it on goal. Maybe a flick on would have been a better option, but it is a goal kick, and Berger is going to take it. Let's see how her hamstring holds out for this one. She seems okay with that one, so maybe the treatment has sorted that issue out. But Chelsea now coming forward again. Sam Kerr holds the ball up well, but again, City have done well, and Lauren Hemp has come back and picked up the loose ball and then clears it long up the field, up that far side, but it's gone out for a throw to Chelsea, has it? Or has it stayed in? I think it might have stayed in, actually. Really bright there, but I don't think it has gone in. I think it went out and came back in again. It's going to be a throw to City over on that far side as the sun begins to set behind the stand. Over on that far side, Erin Cuthbert with the throw for Chelsea. She gets the ball back. She did score a great goal against Arsenal, didn't she? First game of the season, Erin Cuthbert. It was a great game, that, wasn't it? A great win for Arsenal as well. And it has enabled us to, go into this weekend now with a 4-point lead over Chelsea. But of course, this is that game in hand that they've got, and they are currently doing what they needed to do, which is win. They are 1-0 ahead. But they certainly haven't had it easy. Man City are playing well. Demi Stokes has won the ball back well there. Caroline Weir's won the ball back well for City over on that far side. Lauren Hemp again. Can she get a cross in this time over on that far touchline? She's got Cuthbert again for company. She plays it back instead. And again, Chelsea forcing Manchester City back. But City keeping possession. Demi Stokes now finds Greenwood. And then she plays it square to Jill Scott. And Greenwood gets it back for City. That's a good ball into Caroline Weir, and surely that's a foul. And it is a foul by Millie Bright. A little bit clumsy there from the England defender. Good ball into her feet there. Nice take actually from Weir. But then it was a foul from behind from Millie Bright. It will be a free kick to Manchester City. An opportunity to get the ball in the box again. Instead they play it short and then they go back to Greenwood. Plays it in to midfield again. Ellen White has come short. A big ball pinged over to the far side towards Jess Park. Can she keep it in? No, she can't. It's run away and it's gone out for a goal kick again to Chelsea. Nigel in the chat there says, Aaron Ramsey is bound to be on the move in January. He could well be. Would you begrudge him playing for another club in the Prem? I certainly wouldn't, as long as it isn't a top 6 club. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind him playing for anybody really. I mean, apart from maybe Tottenham or you know, Man United. Perhaps you wouldn't really want to go to either of those two, would you? But no, I mean, he was a loyal servant to Arsenal, wasn't he, for a long time? He had a great career at Arsenal. Those 2 cup final winning goals, of course, we'll never forget, will we? So no, I wouldn't begrudge him playing for anybody in the Premier League. You know, I want to see him, you know, enjoying the rest of his career and being successful. I don't think he'd come back to Arsenal, and I don't know if he's a sort of, I mean, you know, gold square midfield player we could probably do with. Anyway, Lauren Hemp now on the far side inside the penalty area. Lauren Hemp, can she get across it? Maybe she should have crossed it there. She had an opportunity. She didn't really want to use her right foot. Demi Stokes now instead over on that far side for City instead. Can they get a ball into the box and look for an opportunity for this equaliser? There's 8 minutes until half time. But Chelsea again clear the ball away. They've now got an opportunity for a counter attack. They know Jill Scott does really well there. And City again pick up possession. Ball played across towards the far post towards Ellen White. It's just headed away by Millie Bright. The 2 England teammates there having a good battle. Oh, that's a short back pass. Stanway was in. It was a 50-50 challenge. The goalkeeper's come off worse. Berger's down injured again, and Lauren Hemp as well. They both had the right to go for that ball. The back pass was short. Hemp was quickly onto it there, and both players have suffered an injury here. It was a terrible back pass, actually, from Cuthbert, and Hemp was onto it quickly. I don't think it's a foul or a penalty. I just think it's a 50-50 ball. They both had a right to go for it. As Berger went to clear it, they both got there at the same time, actually. And it could be quite nasty, this, actually, for both of them. The back pass was short. Actually, Hemp did get there first. And it's a good save, actually, by the goalkeeper, because Hemp got there and Berger saved it. But they have both come out with injuries and they're both getting treatment now on the pitch. It's the second time the Chelsea goalkeeper has been down in this first half. It was a hamstring injury before. This looks like an ankle injury. And Hemp is down as well for City. Of course, they've had some serious injury problems this season, haven't they? Of course, Esme Morgan broke her leg, didn't she, in one of the early games in the season as well, to add to their problems. But that was a short back pass from Cuthbert, actually put a goalkeeper in trouble there. And Hemp did get there first as well. And it actually is a good save, you have to say. The goalkeeper did well there. It isn't a penalty and it isn't a foul. It isn't anything other than, I think it's going to end up being a goal kick. Actually, I don't know if it will. I'm not sure what it's going to be, actually. It did actually go up. It could actually be a corner. I'm not quite sure what the referee's going to do here, but both players are still getting treatment. And it looks as though Berger's maybe come off worse, actually, from this. Her injury does look a lot more serious. As we said, Hemp is now being pulled to her feet, and I think she may well be okay. But I'm not too sure if Berger is going to be able to continue. It's looking a bit of a worrying injury for her on her ankle, it looks like. It's the same leg where she had a hamstring problem about 10 minutes ago. I mean, Hemp is back on her feet again. She's still not looking that comfortable, but anyway, we'll see if she's going to be fit enough to continue. She's jumping around on the side to test the strength of that ankle. We're going to get quite a lot of injury time at the end of this first half, I feel now. Probably 4 or 5 minutes, because there's been these 2 injuries. Berger is still down, getting treatment. There's a few worried teammates around her. She is now getting back to her feet again. And they're just showing the goal again. Terrible mistake from the goalkeeper. inside the first minute, and Jess Fleming almost looked embarrassed to score because it was a terrible mistake from the goalkeeper, pass the ball straight to her. But anyway, it's the goalkeeper at the other end at the moment that there's concern for with her injury. So let's see. We're now 5 minutes away from half time, but there's going to be a fair chunk of injury time at the end of this half, actually. Berger is now getting back to her feet again. She's getting her shin pad reattached. And it looks like she's going to be able to continue for the time being anyway. It's the second time she's been down in this game. I seem to remember actually that cup final, the Continental Cup final in 2020, where she had a great game. She did seem to like wasting time and going down injured quite a lot in that game when there was very, very little wrong with her. But that did look a nasty clash on the ankle, actually, a nasty bang on the ankle. And I think she is genuinely injured this time, although she is back on her feet again now, and I think she's going to be able to continue. She's just getting her sock reattached with her shin pad. And I'm not quite sure what we're going to restart with here. It may well just be a drop ball to Cheslea. And Millie Bright is helping her put her gloves back on. And she does seem okay. The German goalkeeper for Cheslea. She did make a good save there, actually, to be fair, because I think that may well have ended up with a goal for Hemp. She did get there first and poke the ball towards the goal, but it was a good save. And she definitely came off worse there, the Cheslea goalkeeper. In fact, I think the referees give a free kick to Cheslea by the look of it, which would seem quite strange. But anyway, she's going to attempt to kick the ball with this dodgy ankle of hers. And she does kick it, but she winced in pain there. And it wasn't the best clearance. You have to wonder how long she's going to be able to last for in this game. She's already gone down twice, I say, Berger. But Jill Scott now can't keep the ball in. She looks quite clumsy at times, doesn't she, Jill Scott? But that's maybe because she's got long legs and she just looks clumsy. But she did really well. She's done really well, obviously, in her career. She's a great player. She did look a little bit clumsy there when the ball went out for a throw. But anyway, Chelsea have picked up the ball now. It's G in midfield. They're quite happy just to keep the ball at the back. They're even sometimes happy to let Man City have it, Chelsea, and almost say, come on, you need to break us down. But they have had a couple of chances, Man City, in this first half. They've had 2 or 3 opportunities, and they'll probably feel a little bit unfortunate to be behind, actually. If they do go in at half-time 1-0 down, they will feel unfortunate because they've played pretty well, City, to be fair, and they've been a little bit unlucky. But when you've got your chances, you've got to take them, and Man City haven't managed to do that. We found that out to our cost yesterday. We had lots and lots of chances, couldn't take them, and of course, in the end, we ended up dropping points. But it could have been worse. We could have lost that game yesterday. Jill Scott now, with the ball from Man City, plays it into midfield to Ellen White. She felt she may have been fouled there by Carter, but she's going to be okay to continue trying to fight to win the ball back. Millie Bright now for Chelsea. Plays the ball out to that far side to Cuthbert. That back pass has got a little bit more on it to Berger, and she kicks long in towards the centre circle. It's flicked on there, but the offside flag is up over on the far side against Sam Kerr. Now Man City coming forward again down the far side, Demi Stokes, but again she's forced back to Greenwood. We're into the last 90 seconds of the first half, but there's got to be 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time for those 2 delays for injuries to the Chelsea goalkeeper Berger. Greenwood now again in possession, looking to play out long ball up the far side. Caroline Weir now tries to find Lauren Hemp, and again Cuthbert stretch. Maybe she didn't need to. She's looking a little bit shaky, Cuthbert, at the minute. Actually, she seems unsure of how to deal with Hemp, and she slid that ball away when she had time to have got there. Hemp hadn't really even made the run, and it has gone out. I think it's a throw right near the corner flag. In fact, it's a corner to Manchester City over on that far side. They almost scored from the last one from this side. It was a header, wasn't it? That was well saved in the end by the goalkeeper. Jill Scott's up. She's dangerous in the air, of course, as we know. The ball comes in the 6-yard box. It's a Chelsea head as it gets it away, and then it's cleared by Fran Kirby, but not very far. Demi Stokes now for City. Plays it back out to that far side. So Lauren Hemp, good touch. Sorry, it's not Lauren Hemp over on that far side. But that's going to go out for a goal kick to Chelsea. A decent corner again, actually. It was a really good corner played in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's actually 6 minutes of stoppage time we're going to get. Not really a surprise, is it, with those two injuries? So we've got 6 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. It is still Manchester City 0, Chelsea 1. That very early goal from Jess Fleming following a terrible pass out from the goalkeeper straight to her, and a simple goal. When you're playing against Chelsea, you can't afford to give away goals that easily. You've got to make them work for them. Man City again giving the ball away in a dangerous area. Now Chelsea looking to pounce. G plays it to this near side to Eriksson. Plays out the line to Wright, and she cuts inside the German. Plays it at the Swede, sorry. I know she's Norwegian, isn't she, Wright, and not Swedish. She sounds like she should be Swedish, but anyway. Millie Bright now plays it to Jess Carter, plays it long, but it's a hopeful ball that just is going to roll through to Taib. We have now played a minute of the 6 of stoppage time. Can Manchester City find an equaliser before the break? But while it's only 1-0, they've still got a chance. You do feel a second goal for Chelsea, it will be game over. But anyway, that's surely a foul. Is it on halfway? It's not. The referee says no, so Chelsea can bring the ball forward with G again. The Korean plays it to Eriksson on his near side, and then she goes back to Carter, who's almost playing as a centre half, actually, a traditional centre half. She finds Bright, and then Carter gets it back. And then she goes long. But again, it's a hopeful ball that's just going to run through to Taib. The closing stages of this first half. So we have got 6 minutes of stoppage time. There has been a couple of injury hold-ups, mainly to the Chelsea goalkeeper, Berger, who has had a hamstring injury and then an ankle knock, saving well from Lauren Hemp. And I say City have had some opportunities, but so far Chelsea have held on to that early goal, which means they would close the gap on Arsenal to 1 point. Started the weekend, of course, 3 points clear, didn't we? But we dropped those 2 points yesterday. Although I still think we could look on it as a point game, certainly the way that second half went, didn't it? But it will definitely be a point gain if City can find a goal in this game and get a point. Lauren Hempner is really working hard against Fran Kirby, forcing her all the way back. And the ball goes back to goalkeeper Berger, and her clearance isn't that great, actually. And again, City pick it up. They've got a throw over on that far side in line with the penalty area. Demi Stokes now with the ball. But again, Chelsea they've always got good shape when they haven't got possession, and they make it very difficult. And now Stanway's just had the ball pinched off her in midfield, and this is a counter-attack from Chelsea. It's G down this near side. If they get a second goal now, you think that might be it. I think to the far post, it's a great cross headed back into the 6-yard box. It is a goal for Chelsea. It is 2-0. It's Sam Kerr with the goal. Chelsea lost the ball in midfield, and they were made to punish, and they were punished for that mistake. It was a swift counter-attack from Chelsea. G was at the heart of it. It was Georgia Stanway dallied on the ball inside the centre circle. She had it taken off her, and then it was all about whether Chelsea could make that counter-attack pay. And she did. They did. She, though, with the play down this near side, she dinked a ball over to the far post. I think it's Leopold with the header back down to the edge of the 6-yard box. And Sam Kirk isn't going to miss from 4 yards. And it is 2-0. And surely that's game over now. I don't even know if that cross from G was actually where she wanted it to go. But it's a simple finish in the end. A good header back across the goal from the far post from Brighton that creates that opportunity. Or was it Fran Kirby, actually? I think it might have been Fran Kirby with a header at the far post. And City will feel a little bit unfortunate to be 2-0 down, it has to be said. I think that they've played pretty well in this first half, but it's about goals, and it's been 2 mistakes from City, gifted Chelsea these 2 goals, and they've now got it all to do, City, if they are going to find a way back into this game. In fact, it could be worse for them now. Jill Scott there, is she giving away a foul? And still Berger has gone down again. I don't think she's not fit at all. The Chelsea goalkeeper. Are we going to see her for the second half? Possibly not. We'll have to see what what happens in this at half time. But Chelsea have now got a free kick just on this near side at their left, just about in line with the edge of the penalty area, about 10 yards inside the touchline. If they get a third goal now, it definitely will be game over, won't it? We're into the final minute of the 6 at the end of this first half stoppage time. An opportunity for Chelsea to get another goal. Free kick comes into the edge of the 6-yard box, almost come all the way across to the far post, but City do manage to just about scramble it away. And it is going to be a corner though to Chelsea. If it had been 1-0 at half time, you would have fancied the chances that maybe City could have come back, but at 2-0, you do feel as though it's maybe a bridge too far for Manchester City. Chelsea have now got a corner as we finish this first half. We have now played the 6 minutes of stoppage time at the end, but it is a corner to Chelsea over on that far side. The third goal now would definitely seal it. The corner comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. A header comes in and it's high over the bar. I think it was Ericsson with that header. And in fact, there goes the half-time whistle. So it is half-time here at the Academy Stadium. Manchester City 0, Chelsea 2. It was an early goal gifted to Chelsea, actually, by goalkeeper Taib. Very poor ball out from the back. It fell to Fleming, Jess Fleming, and she had the simple task of rolling it in to the net. Man City then played pretty well for the rest of that first half. They had all the chances. A really good chance from Caroline Weir after about 10 minutes, a one-on-one with goalkeeper Berger, and it was the Chelsea goalkeeper came out on top. And they had one or two other opportunities as well, Chelsea. Jess Park had an opportunity at the far post. A touch maybe let her down a little bit, and the opportunity went away. And Berger made another couple of good saves as well. But she has suffered a couple of injuries in this first half, particularly one where she saved from Lauren Hemp, an ankle injury. It did lead to that 6 minutes of stoppage time at the end of that first half, and it was during that period that Chelsea got the second goal on a swift counter-attack, and Sam Kerr scored from close range. So it is Manchester City 0, Chelsea 2. It's going to take a big effort in the second half, isn't it, from Man City if they're going to get a result. The result that would help us out a little bit after we dropped 2 points yesterday. But it's not over, but it looks almost as good as over, doesn't it? But that injury to the Chelsea goalkeeper could prove significant maybe. If she can't come out for the second half, who knows? Maybe Man City can get an early goal, and you never know. Maybe the comeback could be on. It's not often Chelsea would give up a 2-goal lead. It's not very often that's ever happened, is it? So you've got to say the chances seem unlikely, but you never know. The next goal in this game is going to decide this, isn't it? I think if City can get one early on, you never know. And they've certainly had their opportunities. They've had their moments, haven't they? So we're certainly not going to give up and say it's definitely over. But it's a big task, isn't it, now for Manchester City to try to get back into this game in the second half and, do what would be doing us a big favour, wouldn't it? But anyway, we need to worry about our own game, don't we? We are still going to be top of the league, regardless of whether Chelsea win this game. We'll still be 1 point ahead, and we just have to keep winning our games. And, even before this weekend, the game away at Chelsea is going to be a crucial game for Arsenal, and a draw is going to be a good result in that game for us, isn't it? Anyway, regardless, whether we'd won yesterday, if the gap was 3 points and we lost to Chelsea away, then we're in the same position, aren't we? And it's going to be goal difference, which we still have the advantage on. But we have to worry about our own results, don't we? We have to keep winning as many games as we can and hope that Chelsea do drop a point here and there, maybe. And if not, we'll just have to do the job when we play them ourselves. I think it's in February, isn't it? The return game away at Kings Meadow. So, we just have to keep plugging away, do our job, win our games, and then see where we are come at the end of the season. But we always knew, didn't we, it was going to be a big battle, between us and Chelsea through the season. We've got the advantage still, and we still have the advantage, in another hour's time at the end of this game, whatever the score. It's just how big will that advantage be? Will it be a 4-point advantage? Will it be a 1-point advantage? Or will it still be a 3-point advantage? We'll have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen in this second half. But Chelsea are totally in control of this game. They are 2-0 ahead. And, maybe Man City have been a little bit unfortunate. I think they played well in that half, and it just didn't quite go for them, did it? It didn't quite go their way, which was a shame. Because they had some big chances in that first half, which could have made a massive difference to the score and possibly the outcome of the season. But anyway, let's hope that they can pull off a miracle in the second half and come away with a point at least, which will, make up for our. I wouldn't say I'm still not totally disappointed with yesterday. I have to say I thought that we battled back to get a draw from a game that we could easily have lost. Let's be honest. So it's good that that we got something from it. I think a defeat yesterday would have been really hard to take, wouldn't it? Especially after that first half and we dominated the game. So, but yeah, we got something out of the game, I guess, and we just have to keep doing the best that we can and hope that it's enough come the end of the season. But it's a long season still. There's a long way to go, and the title isn't going to be decided this weekend. It's just that it could be a pivotal weekend, couldn't it? With us dropping points if Chelsea do win this game, it makes it slightly more difficult. But we are still going to be ahead of them. Let's not lose sight of the fact that we are still going to be a point ahead of them regardless of whether they win this game or not. So we're the team in front, and we've just got to worry about that. But yeah, there's a lot of football still to be played, as we said. If you are new to the channel, this is something new for me actually doing of Arsenal. It's the first time I've ever done that. I've maybe tried to steer clear of that actually, just because it's an Arsenal channel, as you can see, and I like to focus on Arsenal, both the men and the women. A great watch along yesterday of the Tottenham game. But I just thought, I was going to watch this game anyway because it's a big game at the top of the WSL. So I thought, why not do a watch along as well and see? It's just something I'm trying. And if you guys enjoy it, if you like it, then I may well do more as the season goes on. Obviously, there's a lot more coverage of the WSL this season, so it's an opportunity to maybe feature more games. So it'll be something that I'll be looking at, and maybe some Premier League games as well, possibly that may be important to Arsenal. Like this game is really important to the Arsenal women, so that's why I'm covering it today. And then I say there may be some Premier League games later in the season that other teams are involved in that may well be important to Arsenal, especially if we're challenging for that top 4, top 6. There'll be a lot of big games later on. So if it is something that you guys enjoy, then it's something that I may well do on a more regular basis. But I thought I'd give it a try out today because I was going to watch this game anyway, and why not stick it on the channel and see what maybe chat to some of you guys as well. So if you do enjoy it and you do enjoy the channel, please consider subscribing. I did hit 700 subscribers yesterday during the watch along of the Tottenham game, which was great. I really enjoyed that, and it's been amazing. I never thought when I started this channel at the start of last season that I would get anywhere near to 700 subscribers, just me on here talking about Arsenal, doing watch-alongs and stuff like that. And I think the channel's grown and it's been great, and it's all been down to the support that you guys have given me, and I do appreciate every single one of you that subscribed. And if you are new here today and you do like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing. I say it's mainly Arsenal content, Arsenal women content and stuff like that. That's what we're focusing on. But we do try to give coverage to women's football as well. We do feature the Arsenal women regularly. We've got a women's show on a Friday. We get a panel in to talk about the week at Arsenal, the Arsenal Women's Week, and also as well, we feature other stuff to do with the women's game in general as well. So that's a good show on a Friday, every Friday at 7:30. So please tune in for that if you are free on a Friday. That's a good show as well. And a regular show as well on the men's game, the Premier League, is the Tuesday clinic, which we normally do every week as well. I'm not sure if we'll do one this week. I'll have to decide. Obviously, there wasn't any Premier League games this week to talk about really, so we'll have to see. I might do a Tuesday clinic, see what the other guys want to do, or maybe wait till next week and then we can look back on the Liverpool game. Of course, a big weekend actually for Arsenal, isn't it? Arsenal away at Liverpool on Saturday evening in the Premier League, and then on Sunday, Arsenal women are away at Manchester United. That's going to be another big game. After we dropped points yesterday, that's a massive game we have to win. I will probably be going to that game actually, so I will do some live stuff from there, and I'll do a vlog as well. So that's going to be to look forward to next Sunday. I'm looking forward to that game actually, and then of course the following game 2 weeks later is the FA Cup final at Wembley. I'll be at that game as well. Arsenal against Chelsea, of course. Fantastic game that's going to be, I'm sure. And can Arsenal win the FA Cup? Of course, this is last season's FA Cup, which was moved over to finish this season. There will still be this season's FA Cup to come as well. So, that's going to be interesting to come. But I'll say that cup final as well. Don't forget as well, Wednesday night, if you do enjoy Arsenal women watch-alongs or women's football, I will be covering the Arsenal women against Cougar in the Champions League. Of course, we did win 5-1 last week. An opportunity to hopefully possibly get a 6-point advantage over Hoffenheim in the WSL. They've just shown Everton's equaliser in the WSL against Manchester United today. Looked like it could have been a foul on a goalkeeper, actually, but the goal was given. That game finished 1-1. Actually, Everton against Manchester United, who's with their new manager. Got a lot of new players this season that they're going to be a threat in the league, I'm sure. And of course, Manchester United, who of course we play next week, don't we? That's going to be a big game, a difficult game as well. But Everton did come back from 1-0 down to grab a draw there, so that's good news, isn't it? And Man United, of course, drew last week against Tottenham as well, didn't they? And the week before, I think, against Man City. So they've had a few draws. We need to beat them next week, but we'll build up to that game later on in the week. I'll have a preview video of that as well going out on the channel. So loads of good stuff coming up. So please consider subscribing and help me on the road to 1,000 subscribers. A long way off yet, of course. Another 300. But to be honest, I never ever thought I would get this many. So I'm over the moon with the support from you guys, and I really appreciate it. And and if it is something that if you do enjoy what I do, please consider subscribing and getting involved with the channel. And I'll try and keep you entertained and updated with everything that's going on in the world of Arsenal mainly. And I say especially women's football as well, because we like that on this channel. I've just got a few stats up there. City had 5 shots to Chelsea's 3, 4 on target for City, 2 to Chelsea, both the goals, 4 corners to City, 1 to Chelsea. So I think all that kind of shows, doesn't it, that City have been the better team in this game. They have. But as we know, football's about goals, isn't it? And it's Chelsea that's got the goals, and they're in a very, very good position. But that slight injury concern over the goalkeeper is something to watch out for. We'll see if she comes out for the second half, Berger. And if she doesn't, who knows? She's a great goalkeeper. She's made a couple of good saves, big saves in this game as well. So who knows? Maybe City can find a way back if Berger doesn't reappear for the second half. And who knows? She may be out of the cup final as well if the injury is serious. It certainly looked a bad injury, actually. We're still awaiting the team to come back out for the second half. Obviously, there was a lot of injury time at the end of that first half, 6 minutes in the end. So, but we are expecting the teams to re-emerge, anytime soon. There's a decent crowd in again in the stadium, which is nice to see. And hopefully we'll get a good second half as well. They're just showing that Chelsea second goal again on the counter-attack. It was good. It was a good counter-attack from Chelsea, but City left themselves open by giving the ball away in midfield. It was Georgia Stanway caught in possession inside the centre circle, and that's what Chelsea do. You give them the ball and they'll punish her, and that's exactly what happened there to get that second goal. It's Sam Kerr, of course, with the goal. She's not going to miss an opportunity from inside the 6-yard box, is she? And she didn't. A good header back, actually, from Frank Kirby to set that chance up, actually. So, yeah, Chelsea are in control. And yeah, it's a long way back for City, but you never know. We've seen stranger things happen in football, haven't we? Let's be honest. And of course, it was late drama at the Hive yesterday, wasn't there? When Viv scored that great header to give us that point, which of course I thought we deserved over the course of 90 minutes. At the least, we deserved probably. But when you're 1-0 down in the 92nd minute, and you get a goal, you've got to be delighted with a point. And I think we are. And I say it'll make it an even better point if City can come back in this second half. But it is going to be a big ask, as we said. And I don't know how many times Chelsea women under Emma Hayes have given up a 2-goal lead. It can't be very often. In fact, they don't often concede more than 1 goal at a time in the game today. We scored 3 against them, though. So you never know And we did get 2 in the second half of that game. Nigel says Liverpool have absolutely no excuses for not being competitive in the women's top division. Really is an embarrassment for a club of their standing. Yeah, but don't forget though, I mean, Manchester United didn't even have a women's team, did they, up until 2018? So I think some clubs haven't really embraced the women's side of the game, have they, so much? And I mean, Man United now have invested in the women's team and they're doing well, and it's good to see. Liverpool did have a season, didn't they, in the WSL, got relegated, and yeah, maybe it's not a focus for that club at this moment in time, but I'm sure as women's football grows, I'm sure all of the top teams are going to want to have a competitive women's team as well, aren't they? When they see the benefits to it in terms of revenue that it can generate and stuff like that, and sponsorship and the TV deal now. So I'm sure Liverpool are going to start investing more time and money into their women's team, and I'm sure we'll see them come back and be competitive again in a not too distant future. But yeah, I think we'll see a change. We already have done, haven't we? You've got Manchester United, I say Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham didn't really have a competitive women's team. I say Man United didn't have one at all, did they? They shut them down in 2005. And they only came back in 2018. Tottenham wasn't really competitive in the women's side of the game until very recently as well. So I do think that it's starting to change, and I think it will change. And I think over the next few years with this TV deal, you'll see all the big clubs start investing heavily in their women's team. And I'm sure we'll see a similar. Already, we've got a similar kind of top 3 and 4, haven't we, in the women's game with Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Man United, and I'm sure we'll see it similarly translated in even further. I think Liverpool, as I said, I think they'll end up having a competitive women's team as well. Tottenham are now a lot more competitive than they were. We saw that yesterday. We are now underway in the second half. There's been a change from Chelsea. Isn't their goalkeeper actually? It is Ingles come on. Sophie Ingles come on. I'm not quite sure who's gone off yet for Chelsea. We will see. I thought it might have been Erin Cuthbert, but she's still there. But City coming forward again at the start of the second half. They do need a strong start at the second half, and an early goal would be great. And they're coming forward now here. Demi Stokes down this near side. And it has gone out for a corner straight away, has it, to Chelsea? Cuthbert's claiming a goal kick, but it isn't given as a goal kick. And it's going to be a corner to City at the start of the second half. An early goal here would be fantastic, wouldn't it? It would really open this game up. I'm just trying to check who's gone off for Chelsea, actually. I say Sophie Ingles has come on, a midfield player. And I think Demi Stokes did jump out of the way of that. It was a corner, and it's going to be a corner. And can Manchester City get this goal? Angela Dar with a corner into the near post. Chelsea do scramble it away, but not very far. Comes back out to Angela Dar again. She gets past the defender, but it's cleared away. And I'm not sure if it's offside, is it? It was right in there with a clearance. And I think it is. I think it was offside, and it is going to be a free kick to Chelsea at the start of this second half. So I'm not quite sure who's gone off for them, actually. I'm just trying to. They haven't put anything on the screen. I haven't seen all their players yet. But the goalkeeper, Berger, is still on, despite those injuries that she suffered in the first half. I'm sure she's had some treatment during the break. And she's going to take this. It's actually a goal kick. She's going to take this goal kick, actually. So she must be okay for now, although she does go short with this kick, actually, to Millie Bright. And she then plays it square to Carter. Man City are trying to press them higher up the pitch now. I don't know whether that was a theme that they talked about during the break. And they forced an error again. It's going to be a free kick to Man City over on that far side. We really do need an early goal from Man City to really open this game up and make it a bit more exciting as well for the neutral. I don't feel another mistake from Man City. They're giving the ball away to Chelsea. You can't afford to do that. The ball's played through it to Frank Kirby. Is it going to be 3-0? Oh, it's a good save from Taibbi, actually. Maybe making up for an earlier error. The follow-up is scrambled away by Man City. But again, Man City give the ball away in a dangerous area of the pitch. It was Frank Kirby there. I think it was Jill Scott that gave it away this time. Poor mistake from Manchester City. Jill Scott played the ball square across her box. Sam Kerr was onto it in a flash. Frank Kirby made a great run. It was a lovely ball to her. She tried to hit the shot first time across the goalkeeper. Decent save, actually. It was quite close to her. But you never know what to expect with that goalkeeper, do you, Taibbi, for City. But that was a good save, actually. And it certainly kept this game alive, because a third goal for Chelsea now, it's all over, isn't it? you maybe feel as though it's almost all over anyway. But I do think the next goal in this game is gonna be really important, isn't it? And if it can be City that get it quite early on, who knows? The ball's now played back to Berger, and she goes first time with a clearance towards halfway. And Chelsea do pick the ball up with Fran Kirby. She lofts it forward towards Sam Kerr, but Jill Scott was underneath it, and then it's tidied up by Georgia Stanway. Plays it back to goalkeeper Taib, and now it's Alex Greenwood coming forward for Manchester City from defence. Plays it to his near side to Demi Stokes. Actually played quite well in that first half, Demi Stokes. In fact, Man City played quite well in general, but they made 2 mistakes. They got punished, and they made a third mistake and almost got punished again. And that's, unfortunately, with this Chelsea team, that is what they do. It's a lesson this for Arsenal ahead of the cup final in a couple of weeks' time, isn't it? We certainly cannot gift Chelsea the sort of soft goals that City have today and expect to win the game. Now, Frank Kirby looking for a third goal for Chelsea. Right, and now run that far side. Dinks the ball in towards a penalty spot, but it's Demi Stokes underneath it again. She's played well, I say Demi Stokes for City, but still Chelsea on the attack. But that shot from Millie Bright was charged down, and that's what it wasn't really Bright. It was Ingle actually who's just come on. Sophie Ingle with that shot on the edge of the box, which was charged down. But still, Chelsea now coming forward. They haven't had a lot of spells of possession and a lot of attacks. Chelsea in that first half or in this game in general, and this has been now probably their best actual spell of the game. It seems strange when they're 2-0 up away at Man City, but that's been the way it's been this game. It's been mostly Manchester City possession. It's been mostly Manchester City attacks and chances, and Chelsea very rarely have attacked. But yet they've got the 2 goals, and they're in control of the game. But that's football for you, isn't it? That's a ball played up that far side. Sam Kerr running there onto the ball, but it was good defending by Greenwood. She got there, although it's going to be a corner to Chelsea. They've certainly settled into the second half now. After Man City come out flying for the first couple of minutes, it's now Chelsea back on top. And they've got a corner. Well, I say back on top. They wasn't really on top before in terms of the play, but they've got a corner now. I think it's only their second corner of the game. It's over on this near side. Opportunity for Chelsea. I say if they got the third goal now, you would have to say it would be game over. But we'll see what this corner brings. It's going to be Wrighton with this corner, Guru Wrighton, the Norwegian, with the corner for Chelsea as they look for a third goal, which would seal it all. She goes low towards the near post. It's across the 6-yard box. The City still haven't really scrambled it away. Chelsea piling the pressure on inside the penalty area. It comes across to Cuthbert on this far side. She pulls it across the shot at the far post. It's gone in. It is 3-0. And that's surely game over. It's Fran Kirby with the goal. A good finish, actually. She just missed a chance just a few moments ago. She didn't miss that one. It was a short corner routine, played low to the near post on the edge of the penalty area, played low towards the edge of the penalty area. Manchester City couldn't get it away. And in the end, Cuthbert just squared the ball back to Kirby, and she found that far corner. She tried to put it in that same corner just a few moments ago. This time she found it. It was City just couldn't get the ball away from the corner. It was actually quite a similar goal to that Chelsea scored against Arsenal. It was Cuthbert's goal that day, and again the goalkeeper didn't exactly cover herself in glory. To be fair, not that she would have been expected to save it, but she didn't make much of an effort to even save it. A lovely play from Cuthbert actually, and it went in off that far post, and that maybe just shows the difference in these two teams. Chelsea have been much more clinical. The goalkeeper left it. I think she thought it was going wide, and it's gone in off the post. It is now 3-0, and I'll say surely that is game over for Manchester City. And it's 3-0, and it was Fran Kirby with the latest goal there for Chelsea, and surely that's it now. I said the first goal in the second half was going to be the goal that would decide the game, and you have to say it's probably going to be a matter now. Can City keep their heads and play for some pride, really? Otherwise, Chelsea could run right in this game. Bearing in mind, of course, we did beat City 5-0, didn't we? A similar type of game, actually. City played well in spells, but they made too many mistakes and we were too clinical. And that's what Chelsea have done. They've been very clinical in this game. They haven't maybe played played as well as they can play, let's be honest. And I say City have probably had the better of the game, certainly in that first half. But Chelsea have come out in the second half looking a little bit more on the front foot, actually. They had a chance just before with Kirby again. And now they've got the third goal and they're completely in control of this game. And you do feel it's going to be a very long 35 minutes that are left, or 38 minutes that are left for Manchester City now. But anyway, Chelsea, I'll say sorry, City haven't managed to do us a favour that we wanted, have they? Unfortunately, they've not managed to get a result, because you can't see them scoring 3 goals now. In fact, it could be a 4th goal for Chelsea. Oh, a good save actually there, a volley there from Sam Kerr, cross from that far side. And that's a decent save again, actually, by the goalkeeper. She made a couple of saves in the second half. Good play from Chelsea. She was offside, actually, Sam Kerr. I don't think the flag went up, in actual fact. She was offside. It was a good volley, a half volley, actually. It got deflected off Demi Stokes, which actually made that save even better from Taib. And it is going to be a corner to Chelsea, although maybe it should have been offside against Sam Kerr. But anyway, it is a corner to Chelsea. We've played 9 minutes of this second half. Chelsea have already added the 3rd goal. And you have to say that that's probably enough to give them the victory. It's a free kick there into the near post. And City do manage to scramble it behind. It was Ericsson in there. I think it's another corner. Chelsea are piling on the pressure now, piling on the agony for this City team. Of course, lots and lots of injuries that they've got. But they've still got a good team, some good players, and they should be doing better than they are, really. I know most of injuries in defensive areas, which makes a difference. A corner in towards the 6-yard box. Header comes in. It's 4-0. A free header. It is Ericsson this time. She just had an opportunity before. This time, she doesn't make any mistake. It was a header from inside the 6-yard box from that corner from the far side. And Ericsson makes it 4-0. And I say now it's just going to be however many Chelsea can score. It's just down to them now, isn't it? How many more they want to score, because City have gone. I think Ryan mentioned it before, didn't he? If they lose today, could it be the end for their manager, Gareth Taylor? It could well be. The way they've capitulated in this second half already. Again, it's a poor goal for City to concede from a set piece. Again, I don't know what the goalkeeper's doing. She didn't get anywhere near it. And it's a simple header for Ericsson into the empty net. And it makes it 4-0. And that is our lead at the top, cut to 1 point. Disappointing weekend now then it's been for Arsenal women. We were hoping that maybe City could have done us a favour, helped us out, and maybe got a point or something for us. But they haven't managed to do that. And you have to say, once again, as it was in the FA Cup game against these two sides a couple of weeks ago, mistakes and poor goalkeeping have contributed to this victory again for Chelsea. There was 2 mistakes from the goalkeeper in the FA Cup game. Chelsea won 3-0. There's been one horrendous mistake by the goalkeeper, and I don't think she's done particularly well with any of the other goals either, although she has made a couple of saves. But yeah, that's definitely a problem for Man City, isn't it, defensively? Players like Steph Houghton, Lucy Bronze, the 2 main goalkeepers, Ellie Roebuck, Karen Barsley, all out injured. It's no wonder that they're conceding goals. And I say that's probably the only thing that's going to keep Gareth in his job, isn't it? The fact that they've got so many injuries. I still don't think Berger's particularly fit, and I think she may well not make the end of this game. But they may just keep her on for this game, and then maybe rest her in midweek for the Champions League game, of course, where they should be expected to win anyway. They did beat the same opposition 7-0, of course, in midweek this week, didn't they? The Swiss team, isn't it? I think it was. But Man City are coming forward again. Now, they've only really got pride to play for now in this last half an hour. Demi Stokes plays the ball forward to Lauren Hemps. Not really got in the game in the second half, and that was a poor ball back looking for the run of Caroline Weir. It was her big chance, wasn't it? After 10 minutes at 1-0 to make it 1-1. That's probably the turning point in this game. After that, you didn't feel that City were going to get a clearer opportunity than that to get the equaliser after that very early goal. And Emma Hayes is looking quite relaxed on the touchline, as you could imagine that she will be. They've got this game wrapped up and fair play to them for that. But I think City have been the architects of their own downfall in this game. I say as they were a couple of weeks ago in the semi-final against the same opposition, and Chelsea can run right here. There's space over on that far side. Are they going to get another goal? Chelsea, are they going to get a fifth? A ball into the box? I think they are. City just managed to scramble it clear, but still Chelsea win the ball back high up the pitch. Of course, it's what they do so well. They still keep possession. Cuthbert now plays it back to Millie Bright. Man City do just about survive that particular attack, but they still haven't cleared the ball away. Chelsea coming forward again down this near side with Fleming to score off that first goal. But Hemp's back there doing her defensive work. And again, it was Fran Kirby at the heart of that attack. She got the third goal. Adeko says, I thought Zinsberger is slow goalkeeper, but Taib is worse. To be fair, Zinsberger's had a really good season, I think. I think she's been brilliant. But this goalkeeper, Taib, is as poor a goalkeeper as I think you'll see in the in the WSL. I really think she's terrible. I've been saying this since she's had to come into the team. She's made mistakes in every game, costing City soft goals. And when you've got injuries anyway and you're playing against some good teams, you can't afford to do that. She's a strange goalkeeper in many ways because she does make one or two decent saves every game, and then she just makes some horrendous basic errors. Chelsea have now got a free kick on this near side, about 5 yards in from his touchline. It's kind of in line with the circle, the D at the edge of the penalty area, but right over on this near side. Looks like it might be Wright who's going to take it, or possibly Cuthbert. This is going to be another opportunity for a fifth goal for Chelsea. They've enjoyed their trips to Manchester this season, that's for sure. It is right with the ball in towards the near post. It wasn't a great free kick, actually, and City can get it clear. Rather panic clearance that was, I think, from Ellen White, actually, and Chelsea just picked the ball up again. And it's been a totally different second half. City played well in the first half, and they probably dominated, well, they did dominate the possession and the chances, but Chelsea have come out in the second half and showed their class and their quality. And they've dominated this game. They've got themselves 2 goals early on in the second half to seal their victory, and now they're just on easy street, really, aren't they? Knocking the ball around for fun. And, yeah, they're going to get the 3 points that we didn't want them to get. And we've got a comment in the chat there from Larry. He says, watching it from Italy. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Whereabouts in Italy are you? I love Italy. I think it's a fantastic country. We was at Sorrento a few years ago. Best holiday ever. Fantastic place. I love Italy. Cross comes in there again from Cuthbert to the far post, but it's cut out by Stanway, and she just nudges the ball back to goalkeeper Taib, sorry, not Taib. And Man City get some rare possession in this second half. Actually, it has been all Chelsea since half time. And again, Man City trying to play it out from the back, and again, Chelsea are putting them under pressure and they're struggling, but they've got the ball forward now down this near side. That's good play actually from Lauren Hemp. Tries to play it up low, but Millie Bright's there. And Chelsea again have gained possession. They are so comfortable in this game. You know, you look at the fixtures in the WSL and you think to yourself, how many games realistically would you expect Chelsea to drop points in? And potentially this is one that you could expect them to. They never had a good record in this stadium, did they? In fact, this will be their first WSL victory here. They did win, of course, in the FA Cup a few weeks ago, but yeah, the injuries to Man City have played a big part as well. But yeah, you can't give away goals in the manner that they have. And as Adeko says there, Man City became their own worst enemy today. They did much of the individual mistakes at the back. Yeah, they did. And that's the problem, isn't it? That's where their injuries are mainly, aren't they? They're in the defensive part of the pitch. You know, the goalkeeper, 3 of their best defenders are out. And you can see, you know, you've got a midfielder playing in defence. And no disrespect to Jill Scott, she's a very good player, but it's difficult playing in defence when it's not your natural position against forwards of Chelsea's quality. And not that she's particularly done badly today. The mistakes generally have been elsewhere, but Chelsea coming forward again, looking for a 5th goal, which would, over the course of the hour that we've played, would no doubt flatter Chelsea. The 4-0 probably flatters them overall, but they've just got that much quality and they've capitalised on the mistakes of Man City. And that's, unfortunately, that is football, isn't it? And, yeah, Imperative Views in the chat. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. 2 points dropped yesterday. We've placed unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Yeah, I mean, I spoke about this sort of a bit earlier on in the show today. In a way, I understand it is 2 points drop because that's a game that we should have won. In that first half, we had 4 or 5 good chances. It would work twice. The goalkeeper made some good saves, but we should have been out of sight. We didn't take those chances. And in the end, you have to say, we could have lost that game because we should have been 2-0 down. That open goal from Neville that she missed, that gave us the opportunity to get a point even. And, you know, I've thought about it quite a lot since yesterday. And I'm starting to lean more to the fact it's a point gained overall. When you score that late in a game, you know, to get a point, you've got to look at it as a point gained. And yes, our lead's been cut by 2 points now because Chelsea are winning this game and we've only got a 1 point advantage. But the good thing is we are still ahead. We have still got a lead. And, you know, Chelsea probably aren't going to win every single match, are they, for the rest of the season? They're probably not realistic to assume that they will, as good a side as they are. You know, they've been a little bit fortunate in this game. You know, they didn't play that well in the first half. They were gifted a goal. And then it became much more difficult for City, didn't they? So, you know, I think they will drop points, Chelsea. I think they will drop more points. We just have to concentrate on our game, keep picking up as many wins as we can, try not to get beaten away at Chelsea when we play them in February. And you never know. It's going to be a tight race. It always was going to be tight, wasn't it? I don't think either Arsenal or Chelsea were going to win the league by 3, 4, 5 points. I think it's going to come down to 1 or 2 either way, isn't it? I think that's the way it is because I don't think there's a lot to choose between the sides. I think Chelsea obviously are a lot further down the path than we are because they've been together a lot longer. The coach has been there a lot longer. You know, we've got a new coach. We've got a lot of new players. And I think that maybe that gives Chelsea a slight advantage in the title race, if I'm honest. I do think it does slightly. But, you know, we certainly have been playing well. And yeah, yesterday, the second half wasn't great, was it? I think that was a lot of tiredness from the trip to Denmark and stuff like that. Anyway, Chelsea now looking again for another goal. Fran Kirby working hard down his near side as she tends to do. But Manchester City do manage to survive that attack and they're trying to launch a counter-attack of their own. They've not really got out of their half yet since half-time. We've played 65 minutes. It is City 0, Chelsea 4. And you have to say that this second half has been one-way traffic. But now City have got a chance down his near side. Lauren Hemp, she has been the most likely for Man City. Jinking her way just to the edge of the penalty area. Can she get a cross in? She's held up by Cuff, but this time she finds Demi Stokes in support. Stokes plays the ball back to Hemp and then gets it back again. Rebecca says, I think we should get Hemp. She could boost our wing attack. No, I totally agree. I think she's a brilliant player. And you can imagine having Hemp on one side and Beth Mead on the other side, meet them off through the middle. That would be a hell of a front three with it. I know, you know, Tobin Heath, we haven't maybe seen the best of her yet. And I'm sure she's going to contribute a lot this season. But Lauren Hemp is just... the only thing about Lauren Hemp sometimes that frustrates me is I think she maybe holds on to the ball too long. She maybe doesn't put an early cross in. You know, Beth Mead, she makes the right decisions, doesn't she? And Chelsea made a substitution. Actually, Sam Kerr has gone off, and it's Beth England that's come on, a regular substitute, Beth England. It just shows the strength that they've got in depth, Chelsea as well. Beth England's a fantastic player, has a real physical presence up front. Imperative View says, City ain't selling Hemp to us. No, probably not. If we're totally honest, I don't suppose they will. But anyway... And Imperative View says there, Toon is a more realistic. Yeah, I mean, Ella Toon, I've not been 100% convinced by her. She's got a few goals. I think she scored today, didn't she, for Man United against Everton? But I'm not convinced she would necessarily improve us. I think Lauren Hemp would improve us if we signed her. I'm not really sure if Ella Toon would necessarily with what we've got already. You know, she's a good player. I'm just not convinced it would improve our team. So that's, you know, yeah, she probably would be more realistic, I guess. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's what we need. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Who else comes into the side, into the squad? I don't think we can have too many complaints with the squad we've got, really. Imperative Views there says, do you partly blame Jonas for yesterday's game? Should have made the sub. So no, I did feel he made them much too late, actually. And it was obvious that we were struggling in that second half. You know, Tottenham had put us under pressure. We looked tired, and I did feel as though we had some good attacking players on the bench that we could have brought on, Iwabochi in particular, and he did wait far too long to make those changes. You could say they paid off, because it wasn't long after he brought Caitlin forward and Iwabochi on that we got the goal. So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating that maybe we didn't do that a little bit sooner. Man City making some substitutions. Jess Parker's gone off, faded out the game after a bright start. Actually, Janine Becky's come on for her, and the second substitute is just going to check that for you now. It is Angel Dahl's come off, and Coombs is coming on for Chelsea. Laura Coombs coming into midfield. For Man City. So they've made 2 subs there as well. So, but yeah, no, I do think he made the subs too late, and unfortunately, I don't know, maybe he felt that the team was good enough to come back and get the result that we had on the pitch. But it's unusual, really, because Jonas normally has been making the substitutes quite early, hasn't he? I mean, he's took Miedemar off after like 58 minutes of games and stuff, hasn't he, recently? And I was a little bit surprised he didn't do the subs. And I don't know how. Maybe you have to wonder how fit the subs were, you know, following that game in Denmark. Maybe that could be why. I mean, Iwabochi didn't even play, did she? So I'm not quite sure why she didn't get to come on a little bit sooner. But anyway, yeah, these are decisions that Jonas has made, and maybe he's still learning a little bit, isn't he? He's learning a little bit about this team. He's maybe learning a little bit about the WSL, and maybe yesterday it has taught him 1 or 2 things. And if he learns from those mistakes, hopefully it will benefit us in the long run. But was that the reason we didn't win that game? I'm not sure, really. You have to say the first half we had the chances. The team Jonas picked was good enough to win that game, and we had enough chances in that first half to have won it pretty comfortably, let's be honest. So can we blame him for that? I'm not sure. Yes, I agree about the substitutions, but I'm not sure if that was the reason in the end why we drew the game. And of course, as we know, we could well have lost that game, couldn't we? But yeah, disappointing, of course. Now it looks more disappointing now that Chelsea are winning, and they're probably going to win. But, you know, we are still top. And I think we need to enjoy the fact that we're still top of the league for the time being. We're a point clear, and it's good. And we need to, you know, Jonas has done a great job so far. So yeah, and I think that we need to maybe focus on that and see how we bounce back, isn't it? We've got a big week again, Champions League on Wednesday, and then of course the big game against Manchester United next weekend, next Sunday. So we need to focus on that. We need to see how we bounce back. I'm hoping he might rest a few players in midweek, actually, because you'd imagine at home to Koga that we'll win that game fairly easily anyway. So I'll be tempted to rest a few players ready for the weekend, because that game on Sunday now is a massive game, isn't it? We can't afford to drop any more points. I remember the defeat last season away at Manchester United. That was a big, important defeat, wasn't it? And we can't afford to drop points again, having drawn the game yesterday. So yeah, it's going to be important to bounce back quickly, and that's going to be the key for me. And if we do that, then you have to say you can't really have too many complaints with Jonas's substitutions in that yesterday. Really, my stream just gone down again, actually, which is quite annoying. But it is still 4-0 anyway. And the game's over as a contest, isn't it? Let's be honest. It was over a long time ago, early in that second half, with those 2 quick Chelsea goals. They came out the second half, didn't they? And they really battered away at Manchester City, and finally have killed the game off. Because it was a difficult game for Chelsea in that first half. It certainly wasn't easy. I'm just trying to get this stream back, and then I'll see a couple of comments have come in. I will get onto you very, very shortly. I just need to try and get this back working again, which is quite frustrating, actually, because I'm not quite sure why it isn't. But anyway, let's see if we can try a different way. But the game's over, isn't it? As a contest, let's be honest. It was over a while ago, and we're just gonna see how many Chelsea end up winning by. I think that's all it's about now, isn't it? But it is currently still 4-0. I say Man City have made a couple of substitutions to try to, to maybe try and I say finish with a little bit more pride. I think they did play well in the first half, and you have to say that. But yeah, ultimately, it's not been their day again, has it? And Gareth is in trouble, isn't he? Gareth Taylor, the Man City coach. He's had a lot of problems to deal with in terms of injuries, and you've got to feel a little bit sorry for him, because to get that many players missing at the same time it'd be difficult for anybody, wouldn't it? And I think that he's had a hard time of it all, but ultimately some of the performances have not been good enough, have they? Anyway, regardless, they're making too many basic mistakes, and these are international footballers, aren't they? And you have to say that excuse is maybe wearing a little bit thin now. These players have played a lot of games in the team because they've had to, because of the injuries that they've had. So yeah, it's is it the manager's fault? Do they need to look elsewhere? That is something that they'll have to decide. It looks like there's another injury. I think it might well be to the Chelsea goalkeeper. I'm just having trouble getting the stream to work. Yeah, Berger has gone down. She's going to come off, actually, the Chelsea goalkeeper. She's suffered a bit today, hasn't she? So we are going to have to see exactly what's going to happen. But they are bringing on their second choice goalkeeper, which is Zakira Muzovic. He's going to be coming on. And Berger will say she struggled pretty much throughout this game. She had a hamstring injury early on and an ankle injury later on, and she's gone down again. And I don't think she's going to finish this game. We were all a bit concerned that she wouldn't earlier. Well, I say concerned, obviously. We was concerned for her, but not for obviously, from our point of view, with the cup final a couple of weeks away. I certainly wouldn't be too upset if she wasn't fit for that. No disrespect to her. But it just helps our chances, doesn't it, winning, because she's a great goalkeeper, as we know. But she's not going to be finishing this game. It is going to be Muzovic coming on now for Berger. So, yeah, I think they've obviously tried to wait until they've got the game won before they made that change. Actually, no, she's still staying on at the minute. She's got back to her feet again. But anyway, Vicky Losada is going to be coming on for Manchester City as well when there's a break in play. We've played 75 minutes. It is still Manchester City 0, Chelsea 4. Go back to some of these comments now. Adako says there, yes, we won against Chelsea in the opening game, but right now they look scary to me. Look how they press Man City, full of energy and determination. Do you still convince we can win in the final? Well, I mean, it's going to be a tough final, isn't it? It's going to be 5-0 here by the look of it as well. Is it? As Chelsea get another opportunity? Oh, it's Beth England puts that one over the crossbar. Of course, I think we can win the final. Of course, we can. We've beaten before. We've got a very good team with some very good players. I'm not sure whether or not it's come at the right time for us. We just seem to have gone off the boil a little bit, a bit tired and stuff. But we have got a couple of weeks. There's a week break before the final, so hopefully we can be ready. It's Weir's gone off, and Losada, of course, former Arsenal player, is coming on for Manchester City. The game's done, though. I'm surprised Losada's not starting more games, actually. I don't know if maybe she's been struggling with injury. But Caroline Weir, of course, has gone off. She had that big chance, didn't she? And Chelsea are making that change now. Goalkeeper Berger has gone off, and Muzovic is coming on. Looking very sorry for herself is Berger. And I guess she's got a race now to be fit for the cup final. That could make a difference in the final, actually, couldn't it? If Berger wasn't fit. Chelsea making another couple of substitutions as well. Wrighton is going off, the Norwegian, and it's going to be Charles. Naomi Charles is coming on for Chelsea. And I think there may be another substitution for Chelsea as well, actually, coming up as well. And Fran Kirby that's going off. Got a goal today, of course, as she tends to do. And it's Spence who's coming on. Drew Spence, the Jamaican, is coming on for Chelsea. So that's the latest batch of substitutions. I'd say the most significant one is the goalkeeper. Berger's gone off. Of course, her injuries in that first half eventually caught up with her. And I say it's going to be interesting to see if she's fit for the cup final, which could make a difference, couldn't it, to the result of that game, or certainly our chances of winning that game are going to increase if she's not playing. Certainly, I don't know what their other goalkeepers like, but she's going to get her first touch now, so we'll see. and she just clears the ball away down the field fairly comfortably. Imperative views it a credit where it's due. Spurs have definitely gone up a notch and were really good in possession. Yes, no, they were. Would you play Spurs as the best team apart from Barca, Hoffenheim, and Chelsea we've faced so far? You'd have to say on terms of the result. I thought in the second half they were. I thought the first half we dominated them, didn't we? We're all over them. We should have scored 4 or 5 goals, and we wouldn't be having this conversation today if we'd done that, would we? The goalkeeper played well. In the second half, we looked tired, and combine that with the fact that Tottenham played better. I don't know. I still think that obviously Chelsea are the best team we've played. I think we all know that. Well, Barcelona and Chelsea, certainly domestically. Yeah, I don't know really. I'm not sure. The second half they played well, but I think we were tired. Rasso is coming on for City as well. She's just come on for City as well. They made another substitution there. There's been a flurry of substitutions. It's Hempner's gone off. Again, not really her day in front of goal or in the final third. I mean, I was quite impressed with Hoffenheim, actually. I know, again, a Champions League team. I thought they played well against us for a while. We wore them down. Yeah, I suppose Tottenham have been the best team in the WSL that we've played so far, apart from Chelsea. But we've got Man City coming this week. That's going to be another test, isn't it? So we'll see what happens with that one. Imperative Views there says, Gareth's days as a manager is numbered. Yeah, I think they are. He needs to deploy tactics to match the crop of players that he has. No, you're right there, yeah. He wants his team to play out from the back, even though he's aware that he lacks the personnel to do so. Yeah, I suppose it's a little bit like, you've got a method of playing throughout the club, and players should be able to come in and continue the same style, and that's maybe what he's tried to do. But yeah, they haven't got the players to do it. They certainly haven't got a goalkeeper to do it, and it has cost them a lot of goals this season. So, and you know that Chelsea are going to pressure. You've got to adapt to your game, haven't you? When you're playing a team like Chelsea, you can't put yourselves under unnecessary pressure because you know what can happen, and it's happened today. The Chelsea goalkeeper looks distraught there on the touchline, actually, with her injury. But it's given a chance to the Chelsea goalkeeper, a second choice goalkeeper, of course, Muzovic. Although she wears number 1, because, of course, as we know, Berger wears number 30. But yeah, so she's got an opportunity in the team, and she may well be playing in a cup final. Who knows? We don't know how good she is yet, because she's certainly not been tested yet in this game. That's for certain. Adeko says there, I heard Harder got injured. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she's on the bench, but I don't think she's expected to come on today. Hope she will not play in the final. Yeah, it should be a big miss for them, certainly. Chelsea's good in attacking from wide. We need to stop their crosses. Moritz and Catley need to work very hard to stop them. Yeah, I mean, we did that in the league game, didn't we? I thought we had a real good plan to beat Chelsea. It worked because we won the game. And I'm sure Jonas will have a plan for that game as well. I'd maybe be tempted to play Katie McCabe at left back and Moritz at right back, and then Williamson and Beattie, if she's fit, as the centre backs in that game. And then, play Walty and man them in midfield again and try to deny Chelsea space and close them down early and stuff like that. Try and press them high up the pitch. I do feel as though they've got a mistake in them. Their defenders, haven't they, individually? I think Willie Bright can be clumsy at times. We've got a lot of pace. It caused them a lot of problems, didn't it, in that first game? And I think they know that we can cause them problems. And they're going to be worried as well, no matter what Emma says, no matter how confident she is and, the persona that she gives out, she'll be concerned that we can cause them problems in that final, and we can. And if we play to our strengths, which I'm sure we will, if we have a plan, which again, I'm sure we will, I see no reason why we can't win. We'll have to play well on the day, and we'll have to take our chances. We certainly can't afford to miss the sort of chances that we've been missing in the last 4 or 5 games. We're going to have to be more clinical, because we're not going to get 4, 5, 6, 7 chances against Chelsea, are we? We're going to have to take the ones that we get, and we're going to have to defend well. And if we do that, we've got a chance, yeah. I don't see why we can't beat them. I really don't. But it's not going to be easy, of course. We know Chelsea's quality, and we know just how good they are. And you've seen by their results in the WSL, they've really played some good stuff, haven't they, recently? Imperative View says, I don't wish injury on any player, but deep down I'm praying Anna will be out for a month or so. Well, we'll have to see. We will have to see who's out of the Chelsea team. It would certainly be useful for us if she was injured, because she's and a short back pass there almost lets in Beth England, but Taib did well there. You can see what difference it makes having a goalkeeper, doesn't it? A good goalkeeper. XD says there, I need one more goal. Who do you need one more goal for, Chelsea or Man City? I'm not really that bothered now. Be nice if Chelsea got a goal, actually, I suppose. If Man City got a goal, sorry. But it's obviously far too late, because the game's done. We're into the last 6.5 minutes. But City are coming forward down this near side. They're trying to get an attack of their own. It was Laura Coombs. That's a good ball, actually. And now suddenly City have got an opportunity down the edge of the penalty area. Shot comes in, but it's blocked by Ingle, and Chelsea can clear it up. Goes back to the goalkeeper. Kicks long into the Man City half. Chelsea got an injury now on halfway. It's Cuthbert. She's gone down. I suppose a few injuries to Chelsea wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. I totally agree. I don't wish injury on anybody, but you wouldn't mind 2 or 3 of the Chelsea players not being available for the final. Certainly would definitely increase our chances of winning. But let's be honest, let's not be scared of them. You know, we're a very good team, and we've beaten them already this season. So let them be scared of us. Let them be hoping we get injuries. You know, let's just Chelsea put the team out on the day they put out. Let's not be scared of them. Let's go out there and show that we can beat them anyway, as we did back in September. So, but yeah, let's see what happens. That would be really useful for us, wouldn't it? Because she's had several good games against us in the past. But we'll see what happens. I mean, Cuthbert is currently getting treatment again. Another injury delay in this game. There's 5 minutes of normal time remaining. Plus there'll be some stoppage time goals again. That first goal was dreadful, actually. You wouldn't even see that on a Sunday morning with kids playing. Terrible. And then after that, the goal just before half time from Sam Kerr really sealed the victory. And then the third goal from Kirby early in that second half really kind of put the seal on it. And then, of course, the header from Eriksson soon after that. Again, a poor goal to concede from City. And it's 4-0 and it's game over. And Leeds been cut to 1 point, but it is still 1 point. We are still ahead. Adako says there, do you think we need to get a new player in January? And which position is in your mind? I mean, obviously, new players are always useful to have, aren't they? And I'm sure we could get 1 or 2 in, but which positions? Maybe midfield a little bit. Maybe an extra body in midfield, defensive midfield, maybe, and possibly. I mean, I was before the season started, I would have said right back, because I felt as though Maritz was maybe the weak link there. But I think she's had a good season. She stepped up and she's playing well. Anna Patton as well has done well there. So maybe I wouldn't say we're weak in any particular area. Maybe another centre half. I'm not convinced by Simone Boyer as yet. I've got to be honest. She's looked a bit shaky, and we know Jem Beattie's not blessed with pace, although she's a great player. But I would say that there's one particular position that we're necessarily weak in. Obviously, if you get extra players into the squad, it improves your chances, doesn't it? Because you get injuries and you get players off form and you can bring players in. I mean, I think we've got a big squad. I think maybe the defensive, I think forwards we're fine. We've got enough forward players. We don't have to worry about that. And even attacking midfield players, we've got Jordan Nobbs, Kim Little scoring all those goals. So I'm not really worried about that area. I think more defensive side, defensive midfield, or maybe a central defender possibly. And I think that's maybe where we should strengthen if we were going to. But yeah, I'm not saying we're in desperate need of anyone, really, are we? Imperative View says there, Steph and Katie on the left-hand side doesn't really work. It became way too predictable as both of them tend to go outside on their favoured foot to cross the ball. Neville had a field day yesterday. No, I mean, Neville played well. I personally was surprised she got player of the match ahead of the goalkeeper. She was probably their best outfield player, Neville, actually, despite missing that open goal. I mean, I'd give her player of the match for that, actually, because it meant we managed to get something out of the game. Had she scored, that would have been all over. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I prefer Katie McKay playing left back and then we could have Tobin Heath playing left of the front three. And to me, that's probably our best team. I've always said that. I like Katie McCabe at left back because she can get forward, but I think she's slightly better defensively than Steph. Myself, I personally think she is, and I think she offers more of a threat going forward as well. I think she scores goals, she delivers great deliveries into the box, and I think Steph's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I just feel that maybe Katie offers more in that position than Steph does. So I would maybe look to play Katie at left back a lot more, and then maybe Tobin Heath in front of her, because they've not really played that much, have they, yet? And I want to see more of Tobin Heath. We know what a great player she is. So yeah, that'd be something I would maybe look at. Certainly for the cup final, that would be my team personally there. If Tobin Heath's fit, of course, and if she's played enough games in the meantime. We don't have many more games left a week before the cup final, so it's going to be a push for everybody to be fit and ready to play that isn't playing already. So, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, obviously we can. You can always improve your squad. You can always buy better players. I mean, that's what you should do, really. That's if you want to challenge and improve, but. I don't think there's one particular position that I would look at saying, we're weak here or we're weak there. We've got players, we've got cover, but yeah, maybe defensively is the one area for me. And Imperative View says, can you shed light on how shady that ref looked? Well, very, very poor. Let's be honest, a very, very poor referee yesterday. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think we all know that. And for a game of that, that importance, a North London derby, was she the right choice as referee? I don't know. Again, I said earlier on, I don't think that's the reason why we dropped points. I just think we dropped off in the second half and we didn't play particularly well. We looked tired, and the referee didn't help, obviously, and she was awful. I think we all know that she was awful, and I don't think anybody's got any other view. But I mean, why? Who knows? I mean, refereeing has been a big bugbear of mine for years in the men's and the women's game. I think it's poor in this country. I think we've got really, really poor referees, and something needs to be done. They need to be trained better. There needs to be maybe better pathways for young referees. There need to be more incentives to get young referees into the game. I'm not really sure what the answers are, but something needs to change because they're terrible, all of them. The men's referees and women's referees generally, there's one or two good ones, but not enough good ones really to compensate for all the bad ones. And unfortunately, that's the situation. So yeah, it is a big issue, a big problem, and it is something that needs to be looked at and needs to be improved upon. And I think yesterday we saw that in the women's game in particular. They're investing a lot of money in their TV coverage and putting it in front of a bigger audience. But where you've got referees like that, it's not going to help, is it? But the Premier League's the same. Let's be honest. I mean, some of them referees are dreadful, worse than that referee we had yesterday. Let's face it. So yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? It's a difficult one to sort out, but yeah, she was terrible, and unfortunately, that's the way it was. Imperative View says Beth is better as a left winger, in my opinion. The way she cuts to create space and assist or shoot is what I like to see my left winger do. No, I mean, she's been playing brilliant down left hand side, Beth. It's just that then, on the right hand side, has Keats really done enough yet? Probably not. I'm not sure if she has. And I think Tobin Heath probably deserves more minutes on the pitch when she's fit. So I don't know. I mean, you can play Beth on either side. That's the good thing about Beth. She can play on the right or the left, and she does a good job, in both positions. She can score and assist. But yeah, I mean, she's playing well on the left as well. I mean, she's been brilliant, hasn't she? Scored some great goals cutting in from that left-hand side. So yeah, I mean, it's good that we've got these options, isn't it? That's the beauty of it. Is that we have got options in those forward areas. I mean, the stream's gone down again. I'm not that fussed anymore, to be honest. The game was finished a long time ago. We're down into the last few minutes. I think it is still 4-0. I think the Chelsea goalkeeper there just made a save. We're into the second minute of 5 added on. There was a save there from the Chelsea goalkeeper, the substitute Chelsea goalkeeper. Cuthbert's all right, actually. She's back up on her feet, but she was injured, of course, before. And Rebecca says, I agree. I'm not worried so much in forwards, but we need a good, strong CDM and a better quick centre-back to be paired with Leah Williams. And yeah, that's probably about right. Only Leah able to run back quickly, chasing loose ball at the back. Yeah, no, she is. And we do lack a little bit of pace at the back. But then so did Chelsea. I mean, Millie Bright's not the quickest, is she? So I think, that seems to be an issue in the WSL in general. There's not many quick defenders, and we're lucky that we've got Leah to cover. If Leah was injured, it could be a problem if we had Woober, Moy and Beattie playing. There's not a lot of pace there between the two of them, is there? So that would be a concern. But let's hope that they both, Leah stays fit, because she's so important, isn't she, to the team? But yeah, maybe that's an area we could look at. Yeah, a centre back with a little bit more pace, just as another option. Yeah, but I'm not. I'm not really bothered about getting new players in at the minute. I think the squad's great. Petty View says there, the men's refs are more liable, to be honest. The referees in the women's game do make absurd decisions, but they aren't employed full time. No, they aren't, and that will come, I'm sure. With the more money that's been invested in the WSL with the TV deal and stuff, I'm sure that the women refs will become full time. But it doesn't mean that there shouldn't be consequences for their mistakes, should there? They should be brought to task when they keep making bad decisions. But the men's referees being full time hasn't improved them, has it? In fact, it's made them worse. I think they've got worse since they went full time professional, personally, because it seems as though, and maybe that's not true, but it seems as though they're getting their big wage every week. They don't care as much to be as good as they can be. And I think VAR's made them become a little bit more lazy as well. And of course, VAR's not in the women's game, and that's another thing as well, maybe that needs to be looked at. I know Emma Hayes made a point of it, didn't she, after we beat him in the first game of the season with an offside goal. So yeah, the investment in the women's game is coming, isn't it? And it's going to take time for that to bring, stuff into it that we've got in the men's game. But it's no excuse for referees not to improve, even, despite that. They can still go away and train and practice and if they're making mistakes, someone needs to say to them, look, you need to do this better next time, and work on it with them. That's what needs to happen. Or say, sorry, we're not going to give you a game next week, because they still get paid to referee the game. So, it will punish them if they didn't. The full-time whistle has just gone. It has finished at the Academy Stadium. Manchester City 0, Chelsea 4. A comfortable victory for Chelsea. Really, you could say it wasn't really in doubt from the first minute when Jess Fleming was handed a goal by a terrible mistake by the goalkeeper, Man City goalkeeper Tai, who passed the ball straight to her, and she was able to score. Man City did play well in that first half, to be fair. They took the game to Chelsea, had 2 or 3 opportunities to equalise, the best one falling to Caroline, who ran through, lovely ball played through to her. She got through the Chelsea defence, a one-on-one with goalkeeper Berger, who made a good save actually of her legs. Berger then suffered 1 or 2 injuries, and in the end had to be taken off with an ankle injury after another save in the first half from Lauren Hemp. But the game was decided really either side at half-time. The goal that Chelsea scored in stoppage time at the end of the first half to make it 2-0 killed the game off. It was a counter-attack. It was a mistake from Georgia Stanway. She dallied in midfield. She got the ball taken off her. Chelsea quickly broke up the other end and scored. It was a cross from G to the far post. Fran Kirby headed it down, and Sam Kerr scored from close range. And then you knew the next goal in the second half was crucial. Chelsea came out in the second half, played really well at the start, got 2 quick goals to kill the game off. The first one, it was a short corner routine to the edge of the penalty, and Man City couldn't clear it. Cuthbert pulled the ball back for Kirby. She'd missed a chance just before, actually, but this time she curled it in to the far. It actually went in off the post, and that made it 3-0, pretty much sealed the points. And then soon after, a corner from the far side was headed in by captain Eriksson, and that made it 4-0, and that was that. Game over, 3 points to Chelsea, and our lead at the top has been cut to 1 point. But the crucial thing is we are still 1 point ahead, and we are top of the table. But yeah, not the result we wanted today. Imperative View says it's a midfield trio of Kim, Frida, and Leah dynamic enough. They looked a bit rigid and stagnant. Yeah, I think in some games away from home, when we play, say, Man United away this weekend, I think having Leah Walty and Frida is probably what we need. But maybe in some games at home against weaker opponents, I think sometimes we struggle to break teams down because maybe our midfield has been a little bit too defensive-minded. And maybe getting Jordan Nobbs in there and stuff like that has helped to open it up. Maybe Iwabochi needs to play a bit more as well. Adeko says, what's happened to Schneiderbeck? I'm not sure if she's injured again. Obviously, she had that big injury. She has come back and made a couple of appearances and not featured recently. So I'm not sure if she's still struggling maybe with an injury. I haven't heard that she's injured, but it's she's not been playing since since he came back. She had a couple of games and not been back. So I'll try and find out actually, because Andreas, who's on our women's show, he's in contact with her personally. So I'll maybe see if we can find out and talk about it on the show on Friday, maybe what's happened to Victoria Schneiderbeck. Imperative View says, what's our best midfield trio in your opinion? Frida, Kim, and Mana would be mine. Frida looks great as a sole DM in my opinion. Yeah, I think it does depend on the opposition. As I said, I think in some games, say the tougher games away from home, say Man United this weekend, maybe Chelsea away, City away, games like that, even Tottenham away yesterday, I thought it was maybe the right midfield. I think we need to be maybe to stop counter attacks, so maybe having Leah Walty and Frida as a good option in those games. But in some games, you want to see a little bit more attack, as I say, maybe Jordan Nobbs in there or Manuel Bocce, as you said, and they can be in there as well. So yeah, I think in some games we don't need two defensive mids, do we? Especially at home, quite often we don't. And maybe then that's when you get Jordan Nobbs, and who's been playing quite a bit recently, and obviously Iwa Bocce, who hasn't for some reason. But no, I agree. I think Frida's been brilliant, and you can leave her in there, let Kim Little and whoever else is with her, whether it's Jordan, whether it's Manu, who can sort of get further forward, and I think that would work fine in a lot of games. But in some away games, I would say maybe you're better off having an extra defensive body in there to stop counter attack. Maybe that's something that Jonas has been. He's been doing a bit, hasn't he? I think he's been working with that, and that's how he's been trying to maybe set it up in recent games, and maybe that's the way forward. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the cup final we do see Leah Walty and Frida start the game, certainly with Kim. Whether that changes as the game goes on, depending on how it's going, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I can see that being maybe the midfield three that starts the cup final and possibly starts next week's game against Man United as well. But we'll see. In Pet View said the full 90 minutes, I recall Vicky's start was the PSG game. It was a long time ago. She got 90 minutes, definitely. Certainly, recently she's made a few brief appearances from the bench. So I think it's a fitness issue. I've got to be honest. I think maybe she hasn't completely recovered from the injury, and yeah, we may have to be a little bit more patient. But it'd be great to have her back in the squad again and getting minutes and building her way back into the team. But at the moment, I think that's a long way off. I can't see her featuring much anytime soon, unfortunately, which is a shame because we know she's a great player, of course. But I will be speaking to Andreas on the show on Friday, and hopefully he's in contact with her personally as well, obviously from Bayern Munich days. So I'm sure we can get some more news on that. Adeko says there, from now on, which team do you think can beat Chelsea? Because as I see it right now, they are on a clear path to win the title. They'll play Arsenal, Man City and Spurs at home. We will play away game. Yeah, no, it is. That game when we play Chelsea away is going to be crucial, isn't it? But I do think that they will drop some points. I do. It may be an unexpected point. I mean, yesterday we got held to, well, not so much completely unexpected. Spurs were third in the league, a tough game for us. But, Chelsea have got to play Spurs. Why can't Spurs get a draw against them? I don't see any reason why they couldn't. Man United as well. I know that Chelsea won away at Man United, but maybe when they play them at home, who knows? Man United might be able to get a draw. I think there are teams that can take points off Chelsea, but we've got this point advantage. And all we've got to do is win all our games and get a draw away at Chelsea. It sounds simple, and it won't be as simple as that, but it's in our hands still, isn't it? Although Chelsea are playing well, they're winning games and they're playing really well. We've been playing really well, and let's not lose track of the sight. We had a poor second half against Tottenham, and we got away with it because we managed to get something out of the game. But when was the last time we played that poorly? We haven't, have we? Apart from the Barcelona game, and that was because of how good Barcelona were. So I think we need to see how we respond to this, see how we play in midweek, see what changes we make, see how we bounce back next week against Man United. And then, we can then start thinking, are we, if we win against Man United, then, Man United away is a tough game. Chelsea won there easily. So it's going to be a test for us, isn't it? We need to go there and get the 3 points. And if we do, that's another tough game for us out of the way, isn't it, as well? So, it's everybody's got to play the same number of games and the same teams. Chelsea have got to play the same teams we have, home and away. And it's just a matter of trying and win as many as we can. Chelsea have, they've had a couple of hard games that they've managed to come out on top of. And I'm sure at some point someone unexpected will take a point off them. I'm sure they will. And that's the week we need to win and then we need to get our advantage back and then go there and get a result when we play them away. So a lot of football still to be played. Chelsea look good, they look strong. I think they've still got weaknesses at the back, and if their goalie's out for any length of time now, who knows? They might end up dropping a few more points and see. But yeah, there's still. It's a lot more competitive league this year. I think Tottenham can take points off Chelsea. Definitely, they're capable of doing it. I say Man United could possibly. I think there's a few teams. Brighton. I know they did beat Brighton recently, Chelsea, but they've got to go away to Brighton. That could be a tough game for them. So who knows? Who knows? Let's try and be confident. Imperative View says, I love Leah, but she holds on to it way too long, way too much more. No, she does hold on to the ball too long sometimes. She does. I would, if you're only playing one defensive mid, I would go for Frida over Leah Walty now. I would. I think she's a better player. But again, I think Leah's great as well, and I'm sure she's going to have a big part to play. Imperative View says Chelsea really struggled against Leicester. They did, but managed to get the decisive goal to snatch all 3 points. They are not invincible and have vulnerabilities. But no, exactly, that's what I was saying. I do think they are. They do have vulnerabilities at the back, and if their goalkeeper's out now for any length of time, who knows? They could easily drop some points here and there. But the important thing is we need to focus on our games. We need to keep winning our games, as many as we can, and then let's hope that it's enough at the end of the season. But obviously, the away game at Chelsea is going to be crucial now, isn't it? If we go into that game still just 1 point ahead of them, then obviously we need to get a result here, don't we? A draw or a win. Otherwise, it's going to be hard. I think while we keep staying in front of Chelsea, the pressure's always on them. Even though the lead's now only 1 point, if we keep winning our games and we keep increasing that lead or keeping that lead going, the longer the season goes on, the less games Chelsea have got. And they'll be worried about the points that we're going to drop. Let's be honest. They'll be worried about that. Yes, they've got to play us at home and they know it's in their hands in that sense. But equally, we know we might have to go there and get a draw, and that could be enough. So, yeah, let them worry about us as well. And I'm sure they will be. They know that we're not going to drop that many points. They got a bonus yesterday when, they were maybe expecting we could have lost. So, I'm sure that last-minute goal wasn't what they wanted, was it? So, let them worry more about us and let us concentrate on our games. And I'm sure that we can get enough points to certainly make it an interesting finale to the season, because I think we're going to be there or thereabouts. And I say let Chelsea worry about us. We've spent enough time worrying about Chelsea over the last couple of years, haven't we? Let them worry about us this season, and let them look at who we can drop points against, who we're likely to drop more points against. And so far we are still top of the league. We're a point clear. So let's enjoy this where we are, and let's keep going. Let's beat Man United next week, and then we can prepare for the cup final. And hopefully, who knows, if we beat Chelsea in that final, that might give us that impetus to belief to go on, and it maybe knock Chelsea's confidence a little bit. As Imperative Views rightly said there, they struggled against Leicester. They struggled a bit against Villa, didn't they? They only won that game 1-0. We won 4-0 away at Villa. So, that was an impressive performance from Arsenal. We're up there at the top of the league. We deserve to be at the top of the league. And, let's let everybody else try and knock us off. I think that's what we need to do. Imperative Views says, what's our best centre-back pair in your opinion? Well, obviously, Leah Williamson and anybody else, pretty much, I would say. I like Wooba Moy, but for me, she's got a little bit of a concentration issue at times. I thought it was her fault for the goal yesterday. She should have just cleared the ball away rather than waiting for it to bounce and this, that, and the other. She delayed and dallied, and that was how the goal came about. And she's made 1 or 2 mistakes. Jem Beattie is very solid, isn't she? She's strong in the air. She's a good defender. She reads the game well. And possibly she's maybe just ahead of Wooba Moy at the moment. And I think when Jem Beattie is fit, possibly Williamson and Beattie, as they did play against Chelsea in the first game of the season, is probably our best central defensive partnership at the moment. I think Wooba Moy is going to develop and come on, and I think she's going to be the future. But I think at the moment, yes, probably Jem Beattie would just get the nod, because I think she's a better overall defender. She lacks pace, we know that, and she struggles against quick, nippy forwards. But I think overall, her strength, her power in the air, and the way she reads the game probably just gives her the edge next to Leah Williamson. I think those two complement each other well. So, yeah, I would say that probably at the moment is our best partnership. But I know Beattie's had an injury, an illness issue, hasn't she? So let's hope she's okay for next week. Adako says, in Imperative Views, that is how they're the champion made of, able to take points even when in a bad situation. And so far, they never fail after loss to us. No, but having said that, we didn't play very well yesterday in the second half. We were losing. We could have been 2-0 down, and we came back and got a point. So that's again, that's telling me that that's what champions are made of. Getting that last minute goal yesterday, that's the sort of thing that champions do. It would have been easy for us not to have lost that game and just thought it's not our day and accepted that we were going to lose, but we didn't. We fought away, we battled, and we got a point. And I think that shows that we've got that mentality to go on and be champions as well. So let's not underestimate our team just because we had a poor second half. We still come out of that game with a point when we could easily have lost. So, yes, Chelsea have been doing that and they've kept winning the games, but they've got a defeat on their table this season. We haven't. So we need to remember that. In pet views there at Adeko, I do get your point, but Chelsea have dropped 3 points and it's one more than us. We'll bounce back. I know exactly. Yeah, I was just saying exactly the same. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Yeah, Chelsea have lost. They let in 3 goals against us. So we have to remember that. Adeko says that BT is like BFG, can read the game well, but sometimes need to back her if she loses. Well, no, exactly. I think that's why Leah Williamson can play with anybody, because she's got that ability to cover for defenders when they do make mistakes. So let's see what happens, and let's hope that we get the right partnership working. And I like Jen Beattie. I think she's great, and I'm sure. Let's hope she'll be fit to play next weekend, because I think we'll need her at Man United. Imperative View says we've Tobin to come back as well. Indeed, we have exactly that. And Adeko says I pray for that. Yes, exactly. We all will do. And let's hope that we've shown that we can do. That we've got. And I think being behind on yesterday was the first time we've been behind in a game in the WSL this season, and we came back and got a point in a difficult game in difficult circumstances, and that's a good sign for me. It shows that we now learn a little bit more about the team, didn't we, yesterday? And I think we're going to learn more about the team now and also the manager in the next week. We'll see how we bounce back, and if we win against Manchester United next week, then we're showing that we bounce back in the right way, and that's what champions are made of, aren't they? Everyone's going to have a poor game, a poor performance, drop points. Everybody does. Chelsea lost to Brighton last season, for example. So everybody does, and it's how you respond to that, how you bounce back. So this next week's a big week for Arsenal now. We need to get a result on Wednesday, finish that job off in the Champions League, give ourselves a good chance of getting through the group, and then build up for that big game next Sunday away at Manchester United and show what we're all about. So yeah, let's hope that we can do that. Imperative says Noah was at fault for the goal. In my opinion, she was out of position when they switched play, and it created an opening for the Spurs. It did, and I understand what you're saying. And she had too much space, didn't she? Kicked Graham at the far post where Noel should have been marking her, but the shot came in. It was a decent save from Zinsberger, so we dealt with that. And once the loose ball came back in, we didn't deal with that. Wu and Moy should have just put her foot through it and booted it out of the ground. That's what she should have done, and she didn't. She waited for the ball to fall for a better. She should have just put her foot through it and got rid of it. And that's what cost us the goal. Yes, I understand that Kit Graham had too much space, and that was probably Maritz's fault to a certain degree. She got pulled out of position, but we did deal with that initial shot, didn't we? It was what happened afterwards, where that's how we conceded that goal in the end. Ruben Moy should have just hoofed that away, and then the job's done. And she didn't, and it allowed the Tottenham player Williams to bundle it in. So yeah, maybe they're both at fault in different way. But for me, we dealt with that first shot. We didn't deal with the loose ball after that, and we had the opportunity to. We should have just cleared it, and we didn't. So, but anyway, that's gone now. We got a draw, and we need to be sort of pleased that we did in the end. Adeko says, I hope we keep our good players fit for a Man United game. Yeah, so do I. I think we should play the second choice players for Coke. Well, maybe not all of them. I think maybe I would be resting a few. I would give players like Anna Patton a start in that game. I'd be playing maybe a few others who, some of the younger players who played in that Mine series. They maybe could play in that game. You'd imagine we've got enough to beat Koga at home anyway. You should imagine, maybe have a few on the bench to come on if needed. But yeah, I would look at resting 4, 5, 6 players for that game in midweek to keep everybody fresh, because we did look tired. Keep everybody fresh for Sunday. Go to Man United, put a good performance and get the victory. and keep ourselves top of the league. It would be a shame, or not, no, what would be worse than a shame if we were to go to the cup final having with Chelsea overtaking us next weekend in the league. You know, if we drop points against Man United, and if Chelsea were to win again next week, then you know we could go into the cup final with them ahead of us in the league, and I think that could be a swing. And we don't really want that. We need to beat Man United. We need to stay top going into that final, and then I think that'll give us the you know what we need. Imperative View says Manu did swipe her hand across the ball. Yeah, she did. She had a moment of apprehension due to that. But I'm just looking for excuses at this point. Yeah, no, I mean, we can analyse that goal, and you could find probably 3 or 4 things. We didn't stop the cross in the first place from the other side of the pitch. You know, was the first thing we didn't do very well. We didn't defend the cross well at all, as you said. And then yes, I think Manu and Lottie maybe got in each other's way a little bit, didn't they? But ultimately, as a defender, you've got to say, right, I'm just booting this away and deal with it. And she didn't, and it's cost us. But yeah, ultimately, it was a poor goal to concede. But we haven't conceded many, have we? It's not like we're conceding goals like that quite a lot. Although we did concede 2 in a row, because Koga was a poor goal to concede as well, wasn't it? Adeko says, I'm worried because Jonas overplayed Mead and Kim too much. Well, he has, but they're still continuing to play well, aren't they? So I don't know. I would rest both of them obviously in midweek. He rested them both in the previous game against Koga. I'd rest them again, and hopefully they can be fresher for the Man United game. And then if we do that, I'm sure that they can give us what we need to win that game next week. A difficult game that it's going to be, an important game as well. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, I'm sure Jonas. I've got confidence that Jonas will get it right. He'll do what needs to be done. He'll make the right decisions, and then we will hopefully get the right result. And I say going to the cup final, top of the league, and hopefully with a great chance of progressing through the Champions League as well. And it's not been a bad first half of the season, then, will it? I think we'd have to be pretty happy with that, and then go to the cup final, and hopefully, you know, we can be confident to go and win that game. But we'll have to see. Imperative View says, can we give Viv her flowers? Nothing went her way. She still managed to grab the decisive goal to grab a point, which could prove vital. No, exactly. I mean, I thought that was a really important goal, and it wasn't Viv's day, was it? Again, you know, she wasn't. She had a few good marks. I thought she played a lot better actually yesterday than she has maybe than she did against Koga. Maybe she did a few games before she was rested. I thought she had a decent game. It just didn't quite fall for in front of goal, and yeah, you could see how much she wanted that as well. When that corner came in, she had much more desire than all the Tottenham defence to win that header. And then she wanted to get the ball again, didn't she? And go again and try to win the game. So, yeah, that was a brilliant moment for her. And I'm sure that will be the thing that maybe kickstarts her now to go on another run of goal scoring, which she's not maybe been doing as she in recent games. She struggled for goals. So I think that might be the thing that she's needed to lift her. And, you know, I won't be surprised if she goes on next week, Man United, and gets a couple of goals. You know, she did get a late winner there a couple of years ago, didn't she? So something like that would be nice. But yeah, I agree. I think that could prove to be a vital goal, and it has kept us 1 point clear at the top today, which you know, we would have been level on points with Chelsea without that goal. So yeah, an important goal for her as well, but also for the team. And let's hope it can spark her into another good long run of form. So anyway, I mean, you know, we I'm sure we could spend all night talking about the Arsenal women. Maybe we should save a lot of it for Friday's show, the Arsenal women's show. There'll be loads of stuff to go over there. You know, I know you guys are generally in the chat there as well. So we can maybe talk about these sort of things as part of the show on Friday. You know, obviously looking back on the Tottenham game again and the Koga game coming up, and then a Man United preview as well. So we can look at all these things and maybe talk about it on Friday on the show. That'd be really good. Udako says, do you think Frida is a CDM? Because I see more going forward. Yeah, I think she's an all-round midfielder, isn't she? She's a box-to-box midfielder. I think she can defend really well because she's strong, and she can win the ball. She's a good tackler, but she can also drive forward. She makes great runs forward, doesn't she? She gets on the end of things. She can shoot, as we saw against Everton from 25 yards. So she's an all-round midfielder, isn't she? And it's good that she's in there. She can do the defensive job. She can also do a more attacking job. But I don't think she's a naturally attacking player. She goes forward, but I think, you know, Jordan Nobbs, for example, and Manu, are much more attacking players than Frida is. But she's more just an all-round midfielder, isn't she? So she can do that defensive role really well. And she can also link up the play further up the pitch and score the odd goal. So, yeah, I think she's got a bit of everything. which is great for a midfield player, isn't it? And she's been brilliant. So, but yeah, I mean, she for me is one of the first names on the team sheet at the minute, just how well she's been playing. But yeah, we'll see what happens next week, because I'm sure the Koga game will be a totally different team. So yeah, we can talk about all this on Friday on the show. I'm sure that'll be really good. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll say a little bit different today, covering two different teams. The first time I've done a watch-along of a game not involving Arsenal men or women. So I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. Not the result we were hoping for. Of course, we wanted Man City to do us a favour and at least get a point, but they wasn't quite good enough today. They made too many mistakes, and Chelsea took full advantage and ended up winning 4-0, as we say, 4 different goal scorers for them. It was, just to quickly run through the goals again, Jess Fleming with an early goal, a mistake by the Man City goalkeeper Tyab, and then Man City missed a few chances, and in the end, Chelsea got a second goal just before half-time. It was a close-range finish from Sam Kerr after a counter-attack again. Man City gave the ball away. That looked like that was it, and then in the end, Chelsea got 2 more goals early in the second half. The first one was Fran Kirby. She missed a chance just before. This was a short corner. Man City couldn't deal with it. Erin Cuthbert pulled it back, and Fran Kirby put it into the corner off the post, and then almost straight away they got a 4th goal, a corner and a header from Eriksson from about 4 yards. Again, poor defending from Man City. They were disappointed with all the goals they conceded today, and they didn't take their chances when they had them. So it finished Man City winning 0, Chelsea winning 4. But despite that win from Chelsea, we are still 1 point clear at the top. Yay! So which is good, and let's hope that we can increase that lead over the next few weeks. And Peter View says, I really enjoyed the watch along. No, thank you very much. Thanks for your support of the channel as well. Well, that wasn't the result we wanted, but we're still a point above them. Long may it last. Exactly. That's what we want to focus on. We are 1 point ahead, and let's hope that we can increase that lead at some stage later on in the season as well. But next week's a big game now, the Man United game, really, really big game. We have to win, and we have to put yesterday's disappointment in a lot of ways behind us, but build on that fantastic finish that we got, the goal right at the end. It says we knew City weren't trustworthy anyway. Lasada is in the mud, yes indeed, but I would take her in a heartbeat right now. Yeah, she's a great player. I don't know what's going on with her actually there, but anyway, she got about 15 minutes today, didn't she? Again, I don't know why she can't get in that team when they're struggling so much, but anyway, maybe there's an issue somewhere along the way, but yeah, she's a great player, as we know. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with her, but anyway, she's at Man City, and we've got great players, and let's worry about the players that we have got rather than the ones that we haven't. So yeah, thanks all you guys for watching today. It's been brilliant. Thanks for all your comments in the chat as well. It's been great. I say something a bit different for the channel. I may do a bit more of this then. It seems to have gone down pretty well. Got a few people watching. It wasn't the result we wanted, but we need to focus on our own games, don't we? And what Chelsea do, they do. We can't control them, can we? We've got 2 games to play against Chelsea in the league. We've got the 3 points already. Let's worry about that and just focus on our games and try and get as many results as we can. Udako says there, come on you gunners, nice chatting with you. See you in the next game. Right now, I love talking about the women's team more than them. No, I agree, I do as well. They have something to win this season, high hopes on them. Exactly, yeah, I exactly the same. I think they're brilliant, and it's been great. I've been enjoying watching the games and chatting to you guys as well. And Peter View says, can Ollie manage the women's side as well? It would be a lot convenient for us. Yeah, maybe we'll have to see if he can take over next week. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That might help us a little bit, but we'll see. And Peter View says, love the show, keep up the great. Well, no, thank you very much. I appreciate all your support, everybody that supports the channel. The channel's nothing without you guys. I could sit here and ramble on all day. If no one watches, no one interacts with it, it's nowhere near where it can be. So it's you guys that make the show, make the channel, and I'm really grateful to every single one of you for your support that you've shown. And long may it continue. I'm hoping to be doing these shows for as long as possible, really, because I enjoy doing them. And it's great that you guys are supporting me. So, yeah, thanks a lot to everybody for watching, and thanks for your support. And I will be back live. I'm not sure if we're going to do a Tuesday clinic this week, because there hasn't been obviously the men didn't play this weekend. There is a game to look forward to against Liverpool, so we might do something on that actually. And then, of course, Wednesday night I will be back for the watch-along, the Koga game, go live about 7:45 for the 8 o'clock kickoff. So join me for that one. And then, of course, next weekend it's a big one, isn't it? Friday we've got the women's show first, of course, 7:30, looking back on the Tottenham game, looking back on the Cougar game, and looking ahead to the Manchester United game as well. And then, of course, on Saturday evening, Arsenal play Liverpool in the Premier League. We're doing a watch along of that game, and then on Sunday Man United away for the women. I'm hoping to be at that game, so I'll be doing a vlog there if I go. If I don't end up going to the game, I will obviously do a watch along, but I'm hoping to be there, so I will do some vlogging from that one, something a bit different as well for the channel. So I look forward to that. And yeah, so stay tuned and look out for everything this week. Some good live content on both the Arsenal men and the Arsenal women. That's what we do on this channel, and it's great that you guys can get behind it and support it as well. So thanks a lot for that. And I will see you all, I say, live Tuesday for the Tuesday clinic, and then Wednesday for the watch along, Friday for the women's show, Saturday and Sunday for the big weekend of football. So great stuff. Thanks to all you guys for watching, and I will see you all later on in the week on Tuesday. And in the meantime, of course, as always, come on, you Gunners. Despite Chelsea winning 4-0, we are still top of the league. Let's enjoy that, because we don't know how long it's going to last, do we? See you later, guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon.